Celebrate your pastor at the Solid Rock this month. October is Pastor Appreciation Month, and to help you celebrate, the Solid Rock is giving you a $5 gift card to give to your pastor with any purchase of $50 or more. And while you're there, be sure to check out the wonderful assortment of items that would make great Pastor Appreciation gifts. Celebrate Pastor Appreciation Month at the Solid Rock, the store that honors Christ all year long, off South 74th near Sam's Club.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
Hey, it's JT here at Blue Ember Smokehouse. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and we're here to take the stress out of cooking. Order one of our whole turkeys, turkey breasts, or pit carving hams, all slow smoked the Blue Ember way. And don't forget your favorite sides: mac and cheese, green beans, potato salad, and more. Spend more time with family and less time in the kitchen this year. Last day to order is Friday, November 21st, so place your holiday order today by stopping in-store or calling your nearest Blue Ember Smokehouse. Blue Ember Smokehouse. Get smoked.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a high this afternoon approaching 60 degrees, mainly clear sky, upper 30s overnight. Friday, lots of blue sky, lots of sunshine, our high will be in the low 60s. Saturday, mixed clouds and sunshine, upper 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Grant Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Touchdown, Arkansas! How did he get that wide open?
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that could respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it. We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field. Yeah. People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Number one Razorback is vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Oh, good morning. Oh, the sun's shining. I'm so happy to actually see the sun today. 11:01. Halftime's underway on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Olsen, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, and over the next 3 hours, joined by Dudley Dawson in 30 minutes, Brett Dolan at 1:15, and anybody that wants to dial in or text in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline during the show today at 877-377-6963. World Series day off. The series definitely leaning towards the Blue Jays now after back-to-back wins. And boy, Matt Jones, did they jump on Blake Snell or what yesterday?
Man, that was, you're kind of getting, when the game starts, Phil, happy Thursday. Good to be here with you today for sure. I'm with you, though. Let's do a game 7 if we can. But, when the game starts, you're getting your popcorn ready. You're kind of getting stuff, like sit down. I mean, if you didn't sit down for the first 4 pitches, you missed a lot right there.
They pretty much told you the direction the game was going to go, right? So last time you saw the opening kickoff of a football game returned
Devin
for a
Hester,
touchdown.
yeah.
Was that a Super Bowl?
Yeah. And then the Bears didn't score again like the rest of the game, you know?
Did Ted Ginn Jr.
He did
return
it
an
for
opening
Ohio State
kickoff?
in Florida.
Yeah.
Yep. And then it was Peyton Manning check down day. That's all it was. He was just hitting the flats all day to those running. I think both running backs had 10-plus catches.
Yeah, but those teams that had the opening kickoff return for a score lost.
Both of them did.
In this case, you get the opening kickoff hit for a touchdown, and then they get the ball back and score another touchdown in 2 plays, 3 pitches, 2 home runs. Hey, I mean, it wasn't a blowout from that point because Snell was able to keep them off balance a little bit over the next 5 innings. But I don't think right now, Matt, there's any 2 ways about it. The better team is the Toronto Blue Jays. But you know what the Dodgers still have? They still have Yamamoto waiting in the wings for Game 6, Mr. Complete Game. And boy,
so
do
we're
they
going to
ever
get a 7th
do
game.
they ever need one?
Yeah. Has Clayton pitched at all in this series?
He pitched in, I forget what inning it was, but in that long game. 1 batter got out of it, and that may be the last pitch he ever throws. Who knows? Next 2 games, who knows? And when it comes to a Game 7, anything's on the table.
No rules, huh? Yeah.
It was the last pitch he ever threw at Dodger Stadium, though I know that. He did take a moment yesterday after the game to kind of go out there and take a look. All those years he pitched there, and no matter what, it's the last time I'll be pitching
4
there.
4 Hall of Famers I count on this Dodgers team. Is there another pitcher? Because 1, 2, and 3 is as far as Shohei, Freeman, and Mookie Betts and Clayton Kershaw. There's 4. Is there a 5th? Who do you think on this Dodgers team could also be a Hall of Famer?
Snell was maybe on his way.
He's close.
Yeah, he's got a couple of Cy Young awards. May end up having another one. I think he may be on his way. It's just you'll have to look at starting pitchers a little bit differently when he's eligible. Which is pretty much what you're going to be doing, I think, next year when King Felix is eligible. Didn't have all the wins, but he certainly had a lot of the other numbers. Snell won't have the innings pitched, but he'll have the starts. But in today's day and age, I think he may look like a future Hall of Famer. I guess I got to root for the Dodgers, though, on tomorrow, which just doesn't feel good. I don't have any hatred towards the Los Angeles Dodgers, the way that I used to feel about the Yankees when they were just so dominant in the late 90s. But I do want to see a 7-game series, so I might as well root for them when we get there tomorrow. Matt, I felt yesterday, by the way, your name is Matt Jones. My name is Phil Elson, and I think we were introduced by Ty Richardson as Matt Elson just before the show started.
Might have been an artificial intelligent thing, AI. Matthew Elson. If we're going to go Elson, I think we got to go Mateo or Matthew Elson. Yeah.
I'll be a Spanish guy, maybe not an LA guy in that case. Yeah, be better than Phil Jones.
Philip Yones.
Phil Jones sounds like he should be a backup, guitarist for the Grateful Dead.
He played center back for Man United for a little bit, so yeah. But
he's probably made more money than both of us put together.
He's the guitar tech for the Grateful Dead. That's right.
I'll go with Mateo. I can be Mateo. I'm good like that for a day, but that's you. I'll be Felipe.
There you go.
I'm just going to go with Spanish names just for a Thursday, a little Spanish Thursday here on halftime. Yesterday, some of the conversation circled around who's going to do the hiring of the coach at Arkansas. And I remember asking, well, who's going to do the hiring at LSU? And Jeff Landry, the governor of the great state of Louisiana, must have been listening. Now, I know he had a press conference yesterday that had more to do, I think, with the SNAP benefits that Louisiana state government is going to step in with, at least for the next month or so. But, of course, if you're talking politics in Louisiana, you may end up talking football because the state capitol and Tiger Stadium are about 3 miles apart. So who's going to do the hiring for the football coach at LSU? Jeff Landry had some thoughts.
The first question is absolutely correct. We are not going down a failed path. And I wanted to tell you something. This is a pattern. The guy that's here now that wrote that contract cost Texas A&M $70-something million. Right now, we got a $53 million liability. We are not doing that again. And you know what? I believe that we're going to find a great coach. I mean, maybe we'll let President Trump pick it. He loves winners. I'm not going to be picking the next coach. But I can promise you, we're going to pick a coach, and we're going to make sure that that coach is successful. And we're going to make sure that he's compensated properly. And we're going to put metrics on it. Because I'm tired of rewarding failure in this country and then leaving the taxpayers on the foot, to foot the bill. So, yeah, I absolutely.
So now he's being asked if Scott Woodard's going to do the hiring.
No. I can tell you right now, Scott Woodward is not selecting the next coach. Hell, I'll let Donald Trump select it before I let him do it. I don't know, but the Board of Supervisors is going to come up with a committee, and they're going to go find us a coach. Because, wait, I want to, hold on. One real quick thing on that. Because here's what y'all reporters need to do. Y'all need to start looking at who represents all these people. Like these agents. You know what's interesting? If I'm not mistaken, Woodard's agent, Kelly's agent, the Texas A&M, they're all the same agent.
Well, pause it. He is mistaken about that. That's not true.
You realize if I would be, I don't know how many sports writers we got here today? Just you. We should have a bunch. Okay? Like, this is ridiculous. Lawyers would be disbarred for the way these agents act and the way they're able to represent. In fact, there's no doubt, they may even represent some of the players now. Like, it's really time for the NCAA to put on some guardrails in college sports. Because, and it's fine. We don't need the guardrails. If big billionaires want to spend all that kind of money, no problem. But if I got to go find $53 million from Kemp, it's not going to be a pleasant conversation. I'm just telling you. I know. And I think that that's important as well. Y'all should start looking into that. Okay.
I always love when the politicians tell the journalists exactly what they should be investigating. And that was one of the longer sound bites that we'll play here, 2 minutes and 11 seconds worth. But there was a lot of juice in that soundbite there, Matt. For one, I mean, this is a governor that is wielding influence that he rightfully has over the board of trustees, and the next hire is the president for the university there. But it completely undercuts the athletics director in Scott Woodard, who I don't know how you can stay on after something like this goes down. Now, there were some things that were untruths there. Brian Kelly's agent is Trace Armstrong, and Jimbo Fisher's agent is Jimmy Sexton. I don't know who Woodard's agent is, but he's also right about Armstrong is Garrett Nussmeier's agent and Kelly's agent at the same time. I remember Coach Kelly a month or two ago talking about how odd that was, that he's talking about he's trying to negotiate with his quarterback, and it turns out they get the same agent. You know, Armstrong, by the way, at one point was the agent for, now they're not in these positions again. Matt Eberflus was the head coach of the Bears. He was represented by Armstrong, who also represented Ryan Poles, the general manager. So that's kind of interesting. But in this case, it's not true in LSU sense. It's just, I don't know. Now, here's the other thing. He says there's a track record of Woodard's hiring. There's also a track record that the guy hired Kim Mulkey and Johnson, the head coach of baseball. Those two have won national titles, but he's focused more on the buyout money, and I guess where he thinks he comes into it. Just, I don't know if that changes your understanding of the LSU football coaching job, Matt, because I think when it opened up, I mean, you can make a case for either Florida, Penn State, or LSU as the most attractive job, and I think you may put LSU at the top of the list, but I wonder if that changes this.
LSU is no question. It's the top of the list. I think Rhett Lashley is going to be the next LSU head coach. I think Jimmy Franklin is going to be the next coach at Virginia Tech. But you brought this up. I didn't know this, but you brought this up, I guess, a couple days ago. But the last three head coaches at LSU all won national titles. So it was DiNardo. That's the last one that didn't win a national. I mean, I don't know any other program out there that can say that. You know, Saban won. Les Miles won, and Orgeron. Now him and Orgeron are definitely related. They come from the same parish down there in Louisiana.
Yeah, they basically sounded almost the same, pretty much. I don't think Lashley's agent is Jimmy Sexton, but that's basically who Landry called out here. Now, look, it's not you end up doing negotiations with the board or the AD, not the governor. But when it seems that the governor has this much influence on the coaching search.
Only in the South, you know, they love their football, and Louisiana's a hotbed. I mean, high school football.
Well, where else does this happen? I mean, at some point, Tommy Tuberville's running for governor in Alabama, and at some point, there's going to be a firing at Auburn in Alabama while he's the governor, and he gets to weigh in on it. But that's a football coach. Landry played football in high school. Otherwise, I mean, he was a career policeman and a lawyer after that, and he's been the attorney general of Louisiana and now the governor in his first term, and it's just it floors me to hear. I mean, that would be like Sarah Huckabee Sanders going out and calling out Hunter Yurachek automatically like that, in a way that I think some listeners here want to hear, or DeSantis, going out and giving his full opinion on Jeremy Foley, the athletic director at Florida. I mean, these are Southern places too. It seems LSU is different. It just seems to me LSU is a little bit different. Now, if you're Jimmy Sexton, and he didn't call him out by name, but basically, said he needs to be investigated. That's what that governor is saying. You need to investigate the dealings of the agent, who I think represents everybody. And by the way, he doesn't represent everybody that he thought he did. So Lane Kiffin is represented by Jimmy Sexton. I don't think he represents red. Does this eliminate like a whole set of candidates for a school that obviously has a governor that's got his tentacles within, everything going on in athletics now, it feels?
Well, if we said the name Scott Boras, we're talking about baseball. We say the name Drew Rosenhaus, you're talking about NFL football. If you say the name Jimmy Sexton, I think we all know you're talking about SEC football coaches. That's kind of what it is. So I don't know, and I don't have any say if I don't know that Reds, but I guarantee you they call him and figure that out. But I wouldn't be surprised if Rhett Lashley's the next LSU head coach.
Now, this is an incomplete list. I just found it somewhere online, but just some of Jimmy's clients here, just in the SEC alone: Kiffin, Elko, Smart, DeBoer, Sark, Sam Pittman, Saban, we'll call that too, and that's just in the SEC alone. That's 7 coaches. 2 of them aren't obviously coaches right now in the SEC, but were as far as a year ago or 2 years ago. So, and one of them I feel may be a fit at Penn State if it actually fits to the way that things have gone at Texas A&M at sometimes, with Schlossnagle and Buzz, kind of slipping out the day after the season ends. What if Mike Elko were to bolt for Penn State? Because truthfully, Matt, if I want to think of a coach who fits Penn State for the things that they hold dear there for on a football field.
Linebacker, yeah.
And Elko is from up that way. He is a Northeast guy, played at Penn. I think he would fit. And if he bolts after this season, and part of the thing is A&M's going to the playoff, they may be playing all the way to the very end. So that would keep him, I would assume that would keep him there instead of Penn State, because I think the Nittany Lions will be looking to hire somebody pretty quickly.
That's the other thing. I'm ready to see when's the first domino fall that some of these coaches are going to get hired again.
Yesterday we thought that Virginia Tech was just kind of just circling around and coming to get James Franklin. Maybe that happens soon.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I was trying to think of a defensive coach out there as well. That's kind of like tough. It's going to be physical. And you think about that at Penn State, Elko would be a great choice. You're exactly right. I don't know if it helps if you just go to Texas A&M for, would this be his second year? And then he leaves, does that give you stability? Does that hurt you in recruiting? Knowing that, hey, or is Penn State that job where it's like he's going to be there for a decade?
Well, it also does feel like the calendar wouldn't line up, because I don't think if A&M goes to the playoff, Elko's not leaving during the playoff, right? So when's the championship? Or even just the semifinals. I mean, it's 2 weeks into
December
second week.
December 1st is the SEC championship, so then it kind of
so that may end up precluding, maybe their ability to go get him.
Well, the first week in December. Sorry, not
right.
December.
Anyway, it's just, it's just when you think that this coaching carousel story, which has dominated the entire college football season, and I think been the overarching story to sports right now in the country. Just when you think it gets fuller and fuller, you end up with the kind of story yesterday that makes you feel like you walked into one of those fun houses with all the crazy mirrors. Is that's what yesterday made me feel like. All right, 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Come back in just a moment. This is halftime.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Eat Lux your way with the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the $5 box, as classic as ever. The $7 box has your favorite indulgences and more. And the $9 box introduces you to your newest obsession, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. It's Lux. For less. Try the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
I've got to leave before I start to scream. Someone's locked the door and took the key. You feeling alright?
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Just looking at the playoff calendar here, Matt. Should we? we have Bill King every Tuesday from Nashville Sports Radio. Bill's got it programmed into his mind, man. When I listen to his show, it was like us last year when I really felt like we did program Warp Zone, so we wouldn't say transfer portal for about a month. But I think we're also pretty good at deprogramming ourselves. Bill has never said the word playoff, at least in the last
the money grab
50 times. Yeah, it's the money grab invitational every single time. And he'll just shorten it to the money grab. You can just call it the MG if you want to. So the money grab invitational. Let's see here, are the quarterfinals. And so the first round, let's go the first round, which is the campus sites, is December the 20th. And then it's another 11 days. New Year's Eve is the first quarterfinal. That's at the Cotton Bowl this year. And then the other 3, Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, and Sugar Bowl, are on New Year's Day. I do like at least playing those games on New Year's Day. And then semifinals are the 8th and 9th. Fiesta Bowl, Peach Bowl are the semifinals. And the championship is Monday, January 19th. So it's like, even in recent years, what do you remember about coaches who left that took their teams to the playoff? Because it was DeBoer is the last one that I can think of. And that all worked out perfectly for Alabama because, Saban retires, and what was it, another week or so, 2 weeks, was it less than that he was still playing? So I felt like the timeline kind of worked out well. But if you look at Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss is going to the playoff this year, right? A&M is going to the playoff this year. Does Missouri very well may, although they need to win out the rest of the way, and I think those are coaches that are being targeted by bigger programs. They can't leave. I mean, otherwise those programs have to wait until second week of January, third week of January at that point. And then I also wonder if you take your team to a championship game or national championship, they're going to do everything they can to keep you. You're not leaving.
I think of guys like the offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator on some of these teams. Those are the guys I would be worried about. And usually when it's an OC or DC, you let them finish their season, and then they're coming over. But Colin Klein, in my opinion, is banging on the door to be a head football coach. I don't know if it's in the SEC or where, but I like his project. I like what he's been doing since he played quarterback at Kansas State to his pathway, so to speak. But I think that dude's going to be a. But I do think this, though, that him and Elko go really well together. Like, you got a defensive guy and an offensive guy. You break that up, I don't think you're going to get as good as an offensive coordinator. I think Colin Klein's one of the young up-and-coming OCs.
Well, that's where Elko tries to leverage any kind of relationship he has with Bobby Petrino if he doesn't get the Arkansas coaching job. You'd think he'd be a highly sought-after offensive coordinator, wouldn't he?
Bobby P?
Absolutely.
I don't think there's 10 better offensive coordinators in the country than Bobby Petrino. I do. I think Bobby Petrino, when it comes to calling up a play and his scheme, his schematics, I mean, we're talking about number 88 on this football team. And bless his heart, I love that dude's game.
Rohan Jones.
He's probably just too little to play on the next level. Think about the passes that have been thrown to him. It's been a scheme pass that we've got him matched up on a linebacker or somebody, and he's wide open. It's not even like, we had to fit that in there. It's, dude, there's nobody running 7-8 yards beside him every single game. He does one of those. So, yeah, I think as far as when it comes to designing an offense and scheming it up, I think Bobby's one of the best.
On the roster, they've got Jones listed at 242 pounds. It doesn't look like that when you're watching.
Like 2% body fat. Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's 6 foot 225 is what I would think. But
they got him listed at 6'3", 242. So take off an inch because nobody's ever quite the right height.
Yeah,
right?
6'2", maybe he can play at the next level. Then if it'd be tough.
Platt also, but he's a big kid, 6'5", 265. And yet, I mean, I don't know how Jones runs as fast as he does, even at that.
I like his motor. Mm-hmm. I like his toughness. And the thing too is he catches the ball very, very naturally.
Do you remember when Petrino took the job as UNLV's offensive coordinator?
For 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was 2 weeks. Because it's like, yes, all right, so what's the next job that's going to take him away from that? I remember thinking that. Because that was too small a job for somebody who's that good at that position. And, of course, you're right. It was 2 weeks before A&M came by. Yeah, that would be, if you're going to lose Colin Klein as your offensive coordinator, you try to get somebody like Bobby Petrino, that's for sure. 877-377-6963, the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Congratulations to Arkansas soccer coach Colby Hale. Won his 4th SEC Coach of the Year award yesterday, and then 5 Razorbacks named to the postseason SEC teams. Kennedy Ball, first team. Bella Field, second team. Violina Tuatua, second team. Mackenzie Malham, second team. And Avery Wren made the third team. Arkansas won the SEC regular season for the 5th time in the last 7 years. We'll open up SEC tournament play as the number 1 seed next Tuesday. And we've got a women's basketball exhibition today against UAFS. No TV, no radio, 6:30 tip-off. There are no guarantees about beating these Division II schools because Mizzou on Tuesday, Matt, lost to Division II Maryville, 90-84. Kelly Harper's now the head coach at Missouri after being dropped by Tennessee a couple years ago, and had to explain about losing to a Division II school in an exhibition, which you do not want to happen.
Now, you say UAFS, is that the University of Arkansas at Fort Smith?
That is right. The Lions. The Lions with Alexis Tolfree, former Razorback, as an assistant.
Don't want to get beat by the Fort Smith's club, that's for sure.
It's the only exhibition. I know they had a closed-door exhibition, I think, last week, so this will be the only time to actually see them before the real games begin, which is next Tuesday against Louisiana Tech. Stay with us on Halftime just a moment, joined by Dudley Dawson. This is Halftime.
And the Patriots are headed home, one win from a championship.
This is Halftime.
At the Bet Saracen Sportsbook app, we realize lots of you have thought about opening an account, but you just haven't made that move yet. Well, now's the time with our new player offer. It's easy. You just sign up, use the code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, place a $25 bet, and that's it. Once that bet settles, you'll have $125 in free bets ready to go. Bet Saracen, the most popular sportsbook app in the state. Download it today on all your devices. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tire care shouldn't come with extra costs or surprise fees. It should be simple, straightforward, and stress-free. So at Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee, included with every tire purchase with paid installation. You'll pay nothing for flat repairs, nada for flat replacements, zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles, and zero for other preventative maintenance. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the limited lifetime tire guarantee, only at Midas.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Bow season is underway, and the Arkansas Alternative Firearms season opens October 16th. Jelco Outdoors has all your muzzleloading and straight wall cartridge supplies. Check out the CBA Scout, Franke, Ruger, Savage, Tikka, and Winchester straight wall rifles in calibers 350 Legend, 45-70 Gov, 360 Buckhammer, and 400 Legend. Jelco has the largest selection of hunting clothing, footwear, and hunting supplies in the River Valley. Get ready to go deer hunting at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
This is Rick Bennett, Director of Fort Smith Animal Haven. For all of our heating, air, and plumbing needs, we dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
That's Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning for all of your heating, cooling, plumbing, and drain cleaning needs and great York Home products. It's just one number you need to know, 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hi, this is Lindsay White, and I'm proud to share that White Office Machines has now officially become part of the Datamax family. You'll continue to see the same local support teams you know and trust. plus industry-leading Kyocera copiers with statewide service and expanded IT, phone, and document solutions. Together, we're stronger, and together we're ready to create a raving fan out of your business. I know my dad and our staff are excited about this new chapter, as it takes our capabilities to a whole new level. For you, learn more at datamaxarkansas.com.
It doesn't matter if you're running drills at the park, playing pickup on a Saturday, or sinking the final putt. When you compete with your friends with Michelob Ultra on the line, competition isn't that friendly. The trash talk, next level, and the stakes, oh, those are crystal clear. With only 95 calories and superior smooth taste, it's the ultimate trophy. Superior is worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025, Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Whataburger Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich is back, and it's still bigger and better than any chicken sandwich out there. More chicken strips, more Monterey Jack cheese smothered in buffalo and ranch, all on a 5-inch bun. There's so much crispy, cheesy, saucy goodness, you may find yourself speechless when someone asks what's your favorite part. Not because you can't find the words, just because it's hard to talk when your mouth's full with this much deliciousness. The Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich is back for a limited time. What a burger.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Take it down, help me get things right. Put me up in a revolution. This one is a lie. Sacramento in a wash of the last one die.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Hey, you want to hear some great news? We've been talking about it for the last month. Dirks High School has won the $1 million prize for T-Mobile's Friday Night Lights 5G competition. So they'll get the $1 million and be able to renovate their football stadium. That's the best news we can see all day.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, Dirks, or Derricks, because we had somebody basically say you could say it both ways. Dudley Dawson is with us here. Dudley, of course, covering Arkansas athletics for decades now and joining us on Halftime every Thursday. Dudley, how are you?
I'm doing good, but I'm sitting around here getting ready to write a couple of stories. One on an Arkansas baseball commit and another on a high school football team, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get a college head coaching job. The reason I'm thinking about that this morning is Matt Rule is 6-2, not in the top 25. He just got a 2-year extension, and they're giving him a $15 million buyout. I want to get a job so I can get fired.
Without cause. Just for not being good on the football field.
Just take my money and walk away. In
this case, what you want is you want your employer to have fear that he's going to have to go find somebody else to do the same thing that you do. It's a little different when it comes to football coaches. Otherwise, why would you be giving Rule this extension? Now, you can look at why they've given Curt Cignetti the extension he's gotten. Matt Rule hadn't done anything special at Nebraska yet. They just don't want to go look for another coach.
Absolutely, and young Mr. Lindsey from Fayetteville took him down in big part 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that's congratulations to him is what I'll say.
Okay. Hey, what about, speaking of Lindsey, PJ Fleck? Have you heard him on any of the lists as far as you think he stays at Minnesota? Is he a commodity right now? What do you think with that Minnesota head coach?
Well, I do think he's a really good coach and has done some good things with that program. I do think that his agent, from what I understand, continually, checks out what the path is there, because there are schools spending more money out there on coaching and NIL and all that than Minnesota. So he's taking a look. I think, if he ended up here, he'd be a really good head coach, and maybe he'd get more Arkansas kids than the last few Arkansas coaches have.
Well, what about Franklin? I mean, the rumors were, and who knows if it's rumors or if it's just truth that gets thrown out there, is that John Tyson is getting involved in football, and it was throwing a big offer at James Franklin, but that Franklin might have chosen Virginia Tech. That's what all the smoke was yesterday. Nothing has come out yet. What can you tell us?
I've heard those same rumors, but it makes no sense to me because the end of the coaching firing and hiring is not anywhere near. There are going to be more jobs open, better jobs, I'm sad to say, but it's just the way it is, than Virginia Tech and Arkansas. And I think it would be foolish for him and his agent to go ahead and lock in something. Maybe is he looking that way? Yes, but I don't think that you should shut the door on anybody. And I what is it they say? I believe half the stuff I hear and none of the stuff I see. So,
well, we heard a lot from the Louisiana governor yesterday. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen when it comes to just sports overall. Somebody, and I understand his connection to this. It's just, I'm not trying to defend Scott Woodard, but if he's talking about a track record of buyouts in which he's really not even responsible for one of them. He may be partially for Jimbo Fisher's, but what about the track record of hiring 2 national championship winning coaches for other sports there? It's just, I've never seen somebody be undercut so publicly by the person who runs the state government. It was amazing.
And I know there were some people that didn't like the hire back in the day, and there's been some acrimony down there, but I've never seen the guy's best players come out and just trash him after the game. I mean, Harold Perkins isn't even playing anymore. He's kind of taking the rest of the year off, it sounds like, to save himself for the NFL. But I mean, they've come out and trashed Brian Kelly. And I know he wasn't popular with the media. I know a bunch of guys down there who've dealt with him, but I mean, they've come off the top rope on this guy. And whoever gets that job is going to be set up pretty well. And all they have to do is not go in there and be an ass, really.
Hey, Dudley, Vanderbilt at Texas this Saturday. I'm very intrigued with this game. Do you think Vanderbilt has enough to go down and get past Texas? That would kind of knock them out of the playoff race. If Texas wins, Vandy's kind of uphill battle there. What's kind of your feeling there with this Vanderbilt-Texas matchup?
I'm taking Vanderbilt because I think Vanderbilt has a better quarterback, a leader that has gotten a lot of things done. I mean, the guy leads out there on the field. He leads in the locker room from, everything you hear. He's a guy who may be in his 18th year of college football, but he's put in the work. And so I'm taking Vanderbilt. I'm not sure that and this will maybe hearsay, but I'm not sure that Texas isn't Arkansas's best chance to get a win going down the stretch here because they seem very confused about who they are.
Well, we get a Mississippi State team, and I guess it's the Braylon Russell game last year. We finally played them. We hadn't played them all year. I don't know. Yeah, what about and Dudley, I don't think this Razorback team has dropped the rope by any means. I think they've kind of galvanized. They're still trying. What's your thoughts? Do you think maybe Braylon Russell does kind of have another breakout game against Mississippi State this Saturday?
I think he needs to get more carries. I think Mike Washington's doing a really good job, but Braylon, obviously, as you talked about, I think it was 173 yards last year against Mississippi State in a 58-25 Arkansas win. Mississippi State lost 16 SEC games in a row, but if you watch them on TV, you can see the talent that they have. I do think you're right in that Arkansas's players have not quit on the current regime. I think we all saw quitting in the second half of the Notre Dame game, which, some by the fans, some by the players, some by the coaches, all that. It was not a good thing all around. But I'm telling you, I know that Arkansas is supposedly a 2.5 favorite, but sure seems to me that all the pressure is on Arkansas right now in terms of trying to get a win. Jeff Levy's, just starting his program down there, and he's doing some good things in recruiting, just hadn't had it turn over on the field yet. What a horrible loss for them last Saturday night after having a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter. But we know about leads around here, don't we?
Hey, defensively, there's a couple of players that seem to be standing out that are getting talk about the draft, and I'm talking even first-round action. I saw Quincy Rhodes was on a mock draft, first round of the Cowboys, up at, 30 or 31? And Julian Neal, too. I mean, Neal got burned by Coleman on that amazing touchdown catch, the one-handed catch in the end zone, but he actually had him covered fairly well, and I've been impressed with Neal. We lose a little bit of individual performances in our minds when the defense performs so badly on a week-by-week basis, but these two guys have actually played well this year.
Yeah, scouts and NFL player personnel take the emotion out of things differently than we do in seeing these guys all the time. They watch them on film with an objective viewpoint, and Quincy Rhodes has turned himself into – he was a very good high school football player, but he's turned himself into, as you said, legitimately a first-round draft pick. I guess that would be one of the Micah Parsons trade picks if the Cowboys were to take him at 31. As far as Neal, I think that, if you're a cornerback, you're going to get beat every once in a while. That was an incredible catch last week, but for the most part, I think he's done a really good job on a defense, which, I'm going to tell you, being the sage guy that I am, I turned to my wife during the game and I said, hey, field goals is not going to win this game. Well, I'll be doggone if it didn't. 6 field goals. Arkansas plays better defense, but, the young man, McPherson, came back from a bad game, hit 6 field goals and, a couple of 3 turnovers there near the end and, Hugh Freeze lived to coach another day.
It'd be interesting to see what Neal runs, but I do like his physicality. So yes, he can play on Sundays. He comes up and tackles. That's big time because a lot of corners they don't necessarily like to be physical. All right, Dudley, the Josh Heupel Bowl, and essentially it's an elimination game. Oklahoma at Tennessee, both teams 6-2. Winner stays alive. Loser eliminated from the playoffs. How do you got that one going?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Tennessee. I think John Mateer came back too early. I think he's probably just now getting into a rhythm and all that, but I think he came back a little early trying to continue what he had started with the Heisman push in Oklahoma, trying to help them save their season. I think Tennessee, and I talked to some Tennessee beat writers, they're getting healthy on defense. And, I think that's been an issue for them. They had a pretty good offense all year, but they're getting healthy on defense. They're going to get a couple of guys back this weekend, so I'm going to take Tennessee there. Even though it's interesting, how many of the 16 coaches, and I guess we have to, the ones that have been fired, we can put them in this category. But how many fan bases are upset with their coaches? I bet it's at least 12 of 16.
Georgia likes their coach, I guess. Ole Miss likes their coach. I think those two you could say.
Alabama and Texas A&M.
And South Carolina seems like they might have turned a little bit.
Alabama didn't like their coach after the first week. In fact, they were ready to rehire. They thought they were going to rehire Nick Saban. Dudley, it's amazing how things can change when you don't just go off of the first week, right?
Yeah, that is true. And Coach Saban, his legend is getting bigger and bigger. I don't know how he's having, lunch in all these places. Fayetteville, Florida, Ole Miss, all these places. He's done I think he is comfortable doing what he's doing right now. I think he gets a little upset at Pat McAfee every once in a while, but they do seem to have some chemistry there.
World Series is going to go to 7 games, I think, because Yamamoto is just as good as it gets, and he's going to throw the entire game as he has the last. He's thrown a couple of them already back to back, which is kind of shocking. Series over. You think Toronto's going to take it tomorrow, or is it going 7?
I think that I think it's going to go 7, like you said, for that main reason. But I feel like that it's tough to win a game 7 at somebody else's place, but we've seen it done many times. It's going to be about the pitching, and I wouldn't put one in the middle of the zone for Vladdy, would you?
No, I would make sure I don't do that. I would make sure I don't do the same for Ohtani. Yet every once in a while, one of those pitches ends up over there somehow.
Yeah, it's been a fun playoffs, even though my team didn't get invited to the tournament.
It's okay. There's always next year, and the year after, and the
year
after.
Just 5, maybe 5 years away.
Welcome to my world for a couple of years, Dudley. It'll be okay. We'll leave it there. Hey, by the way, women's basketball tonight. No radio, no television, but get a chance to see Coach Music's team out there for the first time. Supposed to play really fast. Should be an exciting team, and get a chance to watch them for the first time tonight.
It's going to be a little different. I've actually talked to Mike Neighbors a couple of times since he left, including a couple of weeks ago. He seems happy in his SEC role as commentator. But I am excited to see this up-tempo offense. Got a chance to watch it last year when they came and played here. I think she feels like she's got a better team than she had last year in terms of talent, but we'll see how they mesh together. But it's going to be exciting getting the shot up like it was the ABA days, baby.
That's right. Just not with a red, white, and blue ball. Appreciate you, Dudley, as always. Thanks for coming on, and we'll visit again next week.
All right, sounds good.
Studley Dawson with us each Thursday on Halftime, as long as he doesn't sound like Kathleen Turner, because that was 2 weeks ago. He was kind of sick.
Dudley's bringing it today. I like
always,
it. Yeah.
Always bringing it. 877-377-6963 to join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. And, of course, you got to remember Valley Family Dental. Anytime you're looking for dental care or procedures for you and your family, you're going to make sure you feel absolutely comfortable in the dental chair every single time. You leave with a better smile and always more comfortable every single time at Valley Family Dental, featuring general dentistry, braces, implants, cosmetics, same-day crowns available as well. And you can get $300 off a snore guard if you tell them that you heard about them on ESPN Radio. Valley Family Dental is at the entrance to Riley Farm off Highway 71 in Fort Smith, 226-3500, valleyfamilydentalpractice.com. Back in a moment to wrap up hour number one. This is Halftime.
People of Arkansas, I believe, are ready for a revolution.
This is Halftime.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. If you're going to do some cold water bass fishing, you need to be using an Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. It's the best lure for duplicating a small school of shad and can be worked from the top of the water column to the bottom. Whether you're trying to win a bass tournament or whoop up on a bunch of white bass and stripers, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr. will catch them. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place, the Umbrella Flash Mob Jr.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren.
Why wait till Monday for your dental emergency? At Valley Urgent Dental, we know your pain cannot wait. Broken tooth, painful infections, sports injuries, we've got you covered. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are here when you need them most. Call them at 479-235-5655. Valley Urgent Dental is available on weekends when your regular dentist is closed. Valley Urgent Dental at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Do not wait. Your smile deserves immediate care.
They say you can't have it all, but with Taco Bell's $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings boxes, you can have all you want. So, will you choose the eternally beloved $5 box, the extra elegance in the $7 box, or will you go full Fuego with the $9 box? Now with the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito, the only wrong choice is not to choose. So, pick your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box today, only at Taco Bell. At participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only while supplies last. Price and participation varies. Drinks excludes freezes. Tax extra.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Felt really cool at that moment. Back here on halftime as we wrap up hour number 1. Ryan in Prairie Grove texted on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963, and he used these terms to describe the Toronto Blue Jays. I love it. Straight, dirty, rotten, salty. That basically describes what I see when I'm watching the Toronto Blue Jays. Even though they got 3 guys that grew up, so to speak, with a baseball silver spoon in their mouths with big league dads. But they don't play like that. They play like everything matters on what they're doing in that field at that moment. And the guy that I'm enamored with right now is the dude who led off the game with a home run yesterday. It was kind of shocking to see. This is Davis Schneider. First of all, Schneider looks like his eyes are just a little bit too close together, but it doesn't seem to hurt him at all. He also comes from New Jersey, didn't go to college, came out of high school, 6 years in the minor leagues. You talk about being ready. The first at-bat he had in the major leagues, Matt, 3 years ago, home run.
I love it.
Set a record for a major league rookie with 9 hits in his first 3 games. Then last year hit under 200. Now, it's not like he's had some great year, but, man, he just went up there ready to go. You're wondering, why are they batting him leadoff? Boom, there you go. Opening kickoff return for a touchdown, just like you wouldn't expect. They play hard, they play the game right, and they look like, at some point, like him and Kirk, the catcher, there's a little bit of a feeling of a cast of misfits, which is enjoyable.
Well, we don't want Dave Roberts to ruin baseball, so you can't let them win 4. Is it a collapse? Is it a big-time upset if LA doesn't win this World Series?
It feels like
because
it is.
Toronto's the 1 seed, right? They
had the best record in the American League. That's right. That makes it not a huge upset. To me, I think this is not on the same level as with like the 88 Dodgers beating the 88 A's, which in my mind I can think of that's to me the biggest upset that I've been around for in World Series. That one didn't make any sense. But no, I don't view it the same way right now because those Dodgers, they won 88 games that year. This Blue Jays team, they won close to 100, if not getting at 100. But the thing that makes it so amazing for Toronto is that if they did not have Trey Savage, who I think only made 3 regular season major league starts and has pitched 5 in the postseason, if they didn't have the rookie, they wouldn't be where they are right now. And nobody would have counted that he'd be, first of all, their best pitcher, or even in the major leagues in his first full season. But welcome to Major League Baseball 2025. We also welcome you to hour number 2 of Halftime in a moment. You can join us or call us, text us, Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963. Much more to get to right after this break.
They say a full marathon is the ultimate test. For me, it's more than a race. It's a milestone I once thought impossible. Michelle Smallman here, and I'm running my very first marathon in New York City with the support of Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assists powered by Parity. Together, we're empowering girls and women through sports and education with grants to 32 organizations in 21 states. Every step I take is for the finish line and for the next generation chasing their dreams. Here's to 26.2 miles and a future with no limits.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Being young with unlimited energy to burn. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
All guys lose their edge when they turn 40. The body has less testosterone. That's why I take Nugenix Total T.
I've heard about Nugenix. That really works?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I'm lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. I feel more energized at work. It's even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try?
Yep, send a text. It's that easy.
Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent
Selling
any
your
disease.
home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Lindbergh and the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust a team that delivers results. Go to LindberghTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a high this afternoon approaching 60 degrees, mainly clear sky, upper 30s overnight. Friday, lots of blue sky, lots of sunshine, our high will be in the low 60s. Saturday, mixture clouds and sunshine, upper 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris Fort Smith.
Tommy's right on this one. Do you feel? Let me ask you this.
Normal around here.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Bill Olson and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my hot dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
Name of one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olson and Matt Jones.
Back on halftime, 12:01 in the afternoon. This is ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson with Matt Jones and Christian Johnston producing. No guests in this second hour, just you and us. You can join us anytime on the Lewis Automotive Hotline at 877-377-6963. I'd like to see, is this something that the guys in the afternoon created, the FFCA, Fired Football Coaches of America? It's, well, I mean, when you lose your position as a head coach, that doesn't mean you lose your spot in the Football Coaches Association of America. Maybe there's just a separate chapter of them for those who have lost their jobs and are looking for jobs and need a little bit of emotional support. Looked like Brian Kelly's emotional support was sitting at a table, I think by himself, with either cheese dip or guacamole. I think it was the day after he was fired too, Matt. It's kind of an interesting couple of days for him because not only when LSU lost in his last game, that was Brian Kelly's 64th birthday. He's fired the next day and then celebrated it with cheese dip the next day. And actually, knowing you, that might be the way you and I would celebrate getting canned as well.
It would have been so awesome if when they lost that the LSU, they would have played "Will You Still Love Me? Will You Still Need Me When I'm 64?" That'd have been cool.
I did not ever realize that would be a breakup song, too.
That would be cool.
You choose all the other breakup songs that are possibly out there, and I never realized that was one of them.
I think 2 years ago, I was in Little Rock. We were doing a show, I think the 23rd or something, so it would have been the day before my birthday, and I did. I went by myself to a Mexican spot and sat there for an hour and a half and ate chicken fajitas and had a great I was turning 40. For my 40th birthday, that's what I did. I went by myself to Mexico.
What an outstanding
it was beautiful
night. I mean, it's
beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
You're Flacco talking about that the other day because he gets traded. I don't know if his family was with him in Cleveland or whatever, but he's seeing guys that are sitting at the bar eating by themselves, and he thought to himself, well, that actually looks like fun. Man, Joe, that's been my life for the last 25 years.
Now it's when you start going to movies by yourself. That's the thing. I'll go a handful of movies. I'll go out. I looked up the Leo DiCaprio Benicio movie. I know we had talked about it. One problem after another. I kind of but there was
one battle. Yeah, I still haven't seen it.
It wasn't showing in Fort Smith. I was going to go watch it the other day. It wasn't showing.
I gotta go see that at some point. Yeah, I've been eating by myself. I've been going to movies by myself, prepping by myself. Basically, I'm the only person I can trust. Other than you and Christian, I can trust you guys.
Now we have to get and maybe while Gabe's still young at heart, and if Sadie wanted to go, but we got to go to Dave & Buster's and get it on one day. I don't care if it's the Little Rock one, if it's Northwest Arkansas, but we got to make an hour and a half, 2 hour time window where we can go up there and play some games.
They're into Topgolf too.
I can't afford Topgolf. That's I've done that a couple times, Phil. That is like you can go play at Hardscrabble or Chenal. You can go play, and it's cheaper to go play there than it is to go play Topgolf.
It's all about knowing. You got your Wednesdays half price days at Dave & Buster's, and then I think Tuesdays are the same thing at Topgolf. So we'll just prepare it properly. That's all.
There you go.
That's all. And Sadie, while she's going to be Miss Soccer USA for a moment, thought she was going to be a great golfer, and then she actually played it for a moment and realized, yeah, this is more frustrating than it is fun. Speaking of more frustrating than fun, I'm joking. Here's Charlie on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Charlie, I just set myself up there. You don't frustrate me ever. I love you. Go for it.
I mean, and look, I think I frustrate myself more than anything after these calls. So I just go back and, God, why did I say that? That was stupid. But I will say, Matt, you can't go to any movie theater without. Can you hide? Because I know you're 6'6". And everyone knows who you are. How would we hide Matt, Phil? I mean, tomorrow is Halloween. Is there any way we could hide Matt Jones?
What's the last, Tuna, what's your last costume you wore? Have you, I think
I did the Scream. I've done the Scream thing. It wasn't too long ago. But I don't put the full-blown outfit on. I'll throw a mask on and things like that. Matt, we'd have to put you in a full-blown outfit.
I like the vampire wearing a cape, because...
No, you know what you need to be? You need to be Daniel LaRusso when he went to the Halloween party dressed as a shower. And you can hide inside the shower curtain. It's perfect for you, Matt. And then you can extend yourself from 6'6" to 7'5". Didn't you always want to be a 7-footer?
Then maybe you could guard Wemby.
If you could, it's crazy. But, man, I was thinking because you guys, I've been avoiding the football stuff all darn week, guys, all week. Just because I don't even want to think or talk about it. But, I mean, eventually it catches up with you. And somebody texted me this morning. He says, man, what, you turning your back on your team? And I said, no, I ain't turning my back on my team. I'm a frustrated tuner right now. I'm a frustrated fan. I mean.
Charlie, isn't it also, and don't leave. Don't hang up. I'm just creating conversation here with you. does it feel frustrating because it's the same conversation each week? It's like, how many weeks in a row is Bobby Petrino going to say, we got to get Braylon Russell more involved in the offense, and then he gets 3 carries? The defense has to perform. We got to hold on to the ball, all of these sorts of things. It's the same thing week to week, and nothing ever really happens to change the fact that you're going to say the same thing the next week.
Yeah, I mean, we can say what we want to about Pittman, but, he's gone and all, but, like, what the offense it's been the same, kind of the same story. I mean, putting the ball on the ground or throwing it, whatever, turning the ball over, self-inflicted stuff.
Well, the coach changed, but the personnel didn't. I mean, that's really what it comes to.
No, and I agree with that, but you can't. Sometimes I think Bobby gets a little cute. Like, okay, 3rd and 1 the other day. I think we were down, first drive, and we're in the gun. Next play, we're pistol, and they're completely loading the ball. Like, put your 6'6", 220+ pound quarterback under center and just run a quarterback sneak. I don't understand it. Like, sometimes I think he gets too cute with all these mesh and crossing routes. I mean, he's a good play caller and all, but, like, come on, man. I mean, that's my thing with him. And, I like him. I think he's a great coach, but I don't know if – this is the thing, too. When you're looking at all these other jobs that are opening up, it's getting to a point where I'm thinking, like, people say we're going to be, like, sloppy seconds. Maybe it's even further down the line than that. And I know, Matt, you said the other day, like, 20 years ago, no doubt about it, this job, nobody would have looked at it negatively, but we're to a point where it just feels like this is not the year, because it's like we're waiting, and we don't have a choice, really, but it's like all these other great jobs are opening up, and I'm just sitting there like, anybody that we hire, y'all know it's going to be a risk either way, because it is, and people have to accept that. Like, people think Nick Saban's walking through the door or somebody like that. Let's be real, the likelihood of that happening is very low. So my question to you guys, are you more comfortable with, because I think this is what's going to happen. I think we're going to wind up, and I could be wrong, hiring someone younger that's up and coming. But people look at that like, oh, we're hiring a guy that's going to use us to get a better job later. But you know what? I would rather be in a situation like that and us actually start winning games, even if we lost that guy, than be where we've been the last 10 to 13 years. Because something's got to change, and that's
all that would do at least
thing.
what you want. Look, if you're Tune, it's good to hear from you. Every coach you hire, it doesn't matter who it is a risk. Bringing in John Calipari was a risk. Maybe not quite as much of a risk as the next football coach, but you didn't really know necessarily if he could recreate what he did at Memphis or Kentucky at Arkansas. It ends up maybe he has done that. Every coach is going to be a risky hire. Was it a guarantee that Nick Saban was going to be able to recreate what he did at LSU and then turn it into what he turned it into at Alabama? But if the next coach, all you want is somebody that's going to come in and win for as long as he is here, and whether or not that's to be a stepping stone, you just got to take that risk as well. I think Ole Miss took that risk by hiring Lane Kiffin, and he may have ended up turning that program into a place that he does not want to leave. So, but what I would think you want to show, Matt, I think you want to show is that you can just win at Arkansas, that it isn't this 13-year stretch of wandering through the wilderness isn't always, isn't open-ended, that this is a place that you can win. And if you have somebody that comes in here and has success for 3 or 4 years and bolts for somewhere else, I guess so be it. I just want to be able to show you can win football games at Arkansas, because you did it, Matt, and I've been here to watch it too.
Well, and also, that we had, I think it was Juwan that was talking about yesterday about one of the best running backs in the state, but he's a little undersized, and he's going to go somewhere. Well, you know what that is, and this is what Coach Nutt would do. Hey, man, we're going to put you at outside linebacker. We're going to put you at the rover spot. We're going to come help us win because you are. You know what they do with the best athletes in high school? They play quarterback or running back. So it's kind of your Dave Van Horn theory. All the kids played shortstop in high school, then you get up here and we play you a little different position. If kids can play, they can play. We'll just put them at a different position, but let's keep these in-state kids with that Arkansas on the side of their helmet.
Ben in Fayetteville next up on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Good afternoon, Ben.
Hey, how you doing, Phil? How you doing, Matt? My big question here, guys. Phil, you're a baseball fan. If you had a baseball manager that was 14-48 in a season, would you fire him?
I mean, is this
probably would,
focused
right?
on top 25 records? You just get to what it is you want.
No. This isn't. Since 2017, Hunter Yurichek's football coaches are 15-51 in the SEC. 15-51 in the past 8 years as Hunter as the athletic director. So I don't think that we've really made these like home run hires as far as football coaches here. It's got to be something bigger, something broader in the program. I don't think it's just you can't hire, you can't recruit. There's got to be something much deeper than just whoever the face of the program is.
Who's
15-51 over the last 8 years. That's pitiful. That is pitiful.
It's not good, that's for sure. Who's on top of your mind, though? Who would you like to see?
I think you've got to bring in somebody that's got like a draw to the state. Rhett Lashley's not coming here because Gus was a good friend of his, and they basically I agree.
I don't want to say the word. I don't think Rhett's coming to Arkansas either.
No, I don't either. And I don't know why you don't go and find somebody. I mean, the guy that I like that's just old school that I wouldn't, and I come from a military, I'm retired military. I think you bring in somebody like Charlie Strong, because I think that guy comes in here and just kicks the locker doors off. And I think that's what this program needs. And I think you have to really look at Hunter Yurichek. The best coach that Hunter Yurichek has hired at Arkansas is Jordan Weber, the gymnastics coach. That's the only really successful coach that he has hired. You can't deny it. This is a problem, and he's already ostracized the fans whenever he was down there at the Touchdown Club, and he said, we don't have the things in place. You can't deny it. The guy has ostracized the fans. He's going to turn Bud Walton into Walmart shareholders meeting because he's getting rid of the people that have had these seats forever. And it's going to be a corporate conference now at some of these games. He's priced people out of baseball seats. He's pricing people out of football. He's priced people out of basketball. He's a corporate guy, and I understand that. You're supposed to make money. But when the program that pays for everything else is 15-51, numbers don't lie. The numbers do not lie. Gus isn't coming here. Lashley's not coming here because the way they treated Gus. This is a bigger problem. And for the people that think that Arkansas is such of this big program, a long time ago it probably was, but right now it's not. And for people that say, well, Frank Broyles wouldn't have put up with that, well, that tells me you need to hire an athletic director that falls in that shadow of Frank wouldn't have put up with that. Because right now, Hunter Yurichek will put up with anything. And he's putting up with 15-51 as an SEC football record. And that's a damn shame.
Ben, I appreciate that. Good to hear from you. I would ask the question, would other athletic directors have raised the prices? Because was it him that priced people out, or was it the industry? And the consistently rising salaries that you kind of have to hire these coaches for, and the money that you got to pay the players. I don't know if that was Yurichek that's just like, you know what, I'm just going to jack these prices up because I feel like it. We need to make more money. This is the industry that's pricing people out.
There's no loyalty, and this is why I didn't like it. Let's say you've had this season ticket for the last 17 years and you've paid your dues and you've done everything, and then all of a sudden They don't care. They don't give a rip that you've been a season ticket holder the last 17 years paying your things. They're just like, we're going to up it 500% if you want to keep these seats. We don't care that you had been a loyal customer, a loyal supporter, however you want to put it. That's where the bad taste, I think, is in. That's because that's kind of, I don't know. There was no loyalty to it,
and people should feel the way they feel about that. Because that is a terrible idea that you end up pricing people out of something that they put heart and soul and their money into for all those years. And I understand the idea of being angry about that, and that Hunter Yurichek may have, just people just make up their mind on him based upon that. But there's a lot of other schools that were doing the exact same thing, and I just see it as an unfortunate reality of of the current state of college sports. What it really comes down to is you end up loving college sports so much, you love it to the point where the money ends up too big for some of the people that love it, to the point where they spent so much money to be a part of this enterprise and you got priced out. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. And the other aspect too is like Ben's point of Arkansas football's SEC record in these however many years he was pointing out. I don't put Chad Morris on Hunter Yurachek. I think if I remember the story, Julie Cromer-Peoples was, on the phone with him and said, we're going to hire Chad Morris. And he was like, okay. Because at that point, I guess, what are you supposed to do? But I'm not here to relitigate that. I also did give Hunter credit for Calipari, not 100% of it, because without John Tyson's money, that won't happen. But you still have to
not wreck the
say
car.
the right things.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's fitting facts into the narrative that you want. But I also do appreciate the idea that he may not be involved in the hire here. That was a point that we got into yesterday of, who's doing the hiring. It's a very opaque process that even some of our most dialed into journalists who've had sources for decades right now, either they don't want to say it or they don't know who's on this committee to bring in the next football coach. And truthfully, if you see what's going on in Louisiana, and I'm not saying that Governor Sanders is getting involved in it, I would not be surprised if Hunter is not involved in hiring the next football coach. And so that does beg the question, if you're not hiring the football coach, are you the AD? And I think people are wondering the same thing about Scott Woodard at LSU. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Join us or don't, and we'll keep talking. This is Halftime. We're back in a moment.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18-month same-as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Eat Lux your way with the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the $5 box, as classic as ever. The $7 box has your favorite indulgences and more. And the $9 box introduces you to your newest obsession, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. It's Lux. For less. Try the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
With you, whatever you want to do is all right with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. I want to spend my life with you. The same thing, baby, since we've been together. Oh, loving you forever is what I need.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback Baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Well, there was a name I did not expect to see thrown out there for the coaching search. Charlie Strong, 65 years old and hasn't been a head coach since South Florida in 2019. It did not go very well for Charlie Strong at South Florida.
Willie
Nor did it
Taggart.
go well at Texas.
Can we throw that name out there too?
That's
hey, we should hire Willie Taggart.
Not going to be bringing on Charlie Strong as the head coach at Arkansas.
Not going to be bringing on Willie Taggart either.
That's exactly right. Neither one of those. Can't be fitting your facts into the narrative that you want. But everybody's got their opinion on who should be doing the hiring at Arkansas, and I still don't think we really know who it is that is doing this at the moment. You know what people really don't talk about too much right now, Matt, is the upcoming game.
Oh, we have not talked anything about Arkansas versus Mississippi State. And
there is a game like they're playing on Saturday, right?
Either. Still have a chance to make a bowl game. It's not
what?
It's still not over yet.
They really do. It's the crazy thing is if they win out, they win. Like Missouri's got to win out to go to the playoff. Arkansas's got to win out to go back to we wouldn't go to the Liberty Bowl, of course.
Costco. Yeah,
whatever.
Carnival.
Birmingham Bowl or something like that. Yeah. Somebody called up and said they were going to win out, I think, after the Ole Miss game. I remember. I'd believe they would win out with what they got left. Mississippi State, LSU, Texas, Missouri. No.
Hypothetically,
one at a time.
I guess. How different would this season look if we would have just beat Ole Miss in Memphis? 2 games we could have won. Would we still be at where we are right now, or are you kind of like it's a little bit? I mean, you would have been 4-1 after the Notre Dame game, and you had chances. That's kind of what hurts to win that Ole Miss Memphis.
That's why I go back and look. So I was going back and looking at the Razorback raffle recently because the jackpots are going lower and lower and lower, And I just looking back, I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. They did play Alabama A&M this year when the jackpot was $194,970. That feels like 3 seasons ago. Matt, the Ole Miss game feels like 2 seasons ago. But let me entertain you for the moment. Because the whole theory is, if they wouldn't have fumbled, well, we know they're going to go score a touchdown, so they're going to win that game. Okay. If they won that game, do you not choke on an 18-point lead at Memphis? The way that Notre Dame played against Arkansas, I don't think the Razorbacks could have hung with them, even if they cared. Tennessee, A&M, Auburn, are we to believe those games would go differently if they would have held onto the ball against Ole Miss? Because, Matt, the defining character, this is the if. This is the if you want to believe in. But I don't know if that if actually exists. Because the defining characteristic about Arkansas football in 2025 is letting go of the ball and the other team recovering it. So I'd love to think that that wouldn't have happened, that Jalen would have held on to the ball and Mike would have done the same against Memphis. But that's not what this team is. That is not what this team is. This team right now, and unless this changes in the next 4 games, is the team that can't hold on to the ball, can move the ball with incredible regularity up and down the field. A little trouble when you get inside the 20, but man, the yardage is really impressive. But the points and the yards don't match each other because they can't hold on to the ball. That's the personality of this team. So when you ask that question, Matt, I really have trouble jibing that they would have held on to it at that moment, because those are the defining moments of the team this year. The 15 turnovers, the 7 fumbles. And watch out, because Mississippi State's created 14 turnovers, which is tied for the SEC lead.
That's scary. That's scary. Mississippi State coming into town. I really believe that the winner of this game, Mississippi State's still trying to make a bowl game too. I think they have 4 wins, so that would give them their 5th. Loser, I think the loser of this game goes 0-8 in conference play. I know you got Kentucky on that list too. We don't play Kentucky, but I think the loser of the Arkansas Mississippi State game, they won't 0-8.
Kentucky loses to Auburn on Saturday, Matt. They will also go 0-8.
Yeah.
Florida and Vanderbilt after that. Florida could lose because that game's in Lexington, but who knows? But yeah, they're very well. They're going to be 2. They're going to be, because I don't think Kentucky's going to beat Auburn. Maybe Auburn's going to switch that quarterback to Daniels. I think that'll be a pretty big change for them.
The Kentucky coach, this is just 2 years ago. He was on he was high at the list.
A&M was that close to hiring him.
Why all of a sudden now are none of these jobs mentioning him? That's kind of weird, right?
Probably the record from the last 2 seasons has something to do with it.
And you brought this up with Coach Mike Neighbors when he was the women's basketball coach here at Arkansas. It's like, Duke can still coach. We didn't give him anything to be successful. How much are they giving Stoops at Kentucky to be successful? But if you were to give him something, I think he could be successful. Think Arkansas looks at a guy like that?
At Mark Stoops?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to have to pay the buyout that goes along with it, though, is my estimation. So that's why maybe that's a main. I think the performance of Kentucky this season and last season is a reason why, but nobody wants to pay that buyout. James and Rogers has called our Lewis Automotive Hotline. Hi, James. How you doing?
Hey, good. Hey, Matt, why wouldn't they go after a high school football coach from Greenwood, Arkansas? And I'll leave that up to you and let you discuss that, see what you say.
There's nothing wrong. Gus Malzahn was a high school football coach 20 years ago, and he's a great high school football coach. That's wasn't Kalen DeBoer a high school coach just 10, 12 years ago as well? You got to get into it somehow, and you can coach on any level. It's about relating to the players. There's a lot that goes into it, but it's a relationship, psychology 101. Is it Coach Kelly, the coach at Pulaski that would onside kick all the time?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he get a shot as well?
Yeah, that was Presbyterian. I think it was non-scholarship FCS,
But
it
Gus
didn't go
Malzahn's
well.
a great example. I mean, he was a high school football coach for years, and then went on. So you can find coaches anywhere.
But this is the thing, though, is you can find them, but there's got to be a somewhat of an on-ramp for how you're going to run this thing. So it's like if I say in this day and age that college baseball and Major League Baseball have never been closer, high school football and college football have never been farther apart. From what you have to do as a college football head coach, there's no way that you would just be able to drop out of high school unless you've been a college football coach before. You're not leaving high school and be able to just glide right into this industry where even the coaches who've been around for 20 years are having trouble figuring their way through this.
Barry Lunny Jr., OC at Illinois, they've been having some success. You know, I don't know. You think there's any stigma with Brett Bielema and Barry Lunny? Would that be a thing where you wouldn't want to hire him?
No, I think they would have to do about how's the team performing.
Yeah, and they're not really an offensive team. You know, that if we're going to look at Illinois, how do they win games? It's not like he's setting the world on fire, but he's a former quarterback. What were we talking about with Lane Kiffin, with Josh Heupel, even Bobby Petrino? You know, former quarterbacks. Colin Klein at A&M. So yeah, I think, and you know, he's Arkansas guy. It would maybe his dad was a high school football coach for 30 plus years in the state. So you got to think relationships could be built a little bit back to what you are in recruiting kids from the state.
Hey, if you're looking for a side-by-side, a motorcycle, ATV, zero-turn mower, Wood Power Sports is at the top of your list with locations in Harrison, Springdale, and Fayetteville, and all the brands you're thinking of. Just thinking of Can-Am, Kawasaki, Yamaha, to name three of them. They got all the ones that you're thinking of, and these three convenient locations also provide you with outstanding service and parts capabilities, deliveries as well. WoodPowersports.com to learn more. Wood Power Sports is a solid name you can trust. Our Lewis Automotive Hotline is open, 877-377-6963. Stay with us right after this break.
Oh, it's going to be great to be back home. We need to go out and put on a show and give everyone a lot to cheer about, and everybody needs to cheer really loud when they have the ball.
This is halftime.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
At Wave Rural Connect, our mission is to improve the quality of life in our communities. Across the River Valley of Arkansas and Oklahoma, residents and businesses are experiencing the difference of our high-speed internet. Wave Rural Connect Internet provides a reliable residential connection for streaming, gaming, remote work, and homeschooling. Our business solutions provide the speed, stability, and security that you need, whether you're a mom and pop flower shop or large business. Check availability online at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 833-492-8372.
A friend is someone who knows where you came from. Someone who always shows up when you need them. Someone who's there for the good times and the challenging ones. With comprehensive insurance policies backed by award-winning customer service, Shelter Insurance is committed to being there when you need us most. To find your local agent, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your Shelter Insurance agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Lowe's knows you want to spend less time shopping and more time on the job site. Bulk savings on trusted brands means big savings and more time on the job. Get up to 25% off select drywall when you buy in bulk. Buy more and save to make sure you're prepared for any job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Selection varies by location.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair. And I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you. And I'm wondering what it is I should do. It's so hard to keep the smile from my face. Losing control, yeah, I'm all over the place. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Arkansas is a 4-point favorite home against Mississippi State on the Bet Saracen app. Matt, that means they're a real favorite, right? Last week, 2.5-point favorite, not a real favorite. A little bit different this time around. Got my son coming to the game with me on Saturday. You know, the last time Mississippi State came to Fayetteville, he was there.
10-7.
11 of the 7-3.
7-3.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, don't dock them the 7 points, man. That was an important touchdown that didn't get scored. Yeah, it was 11 o'clock morning game. The kid fell asleep in the booth because it was, first of all, I got him up at 5:30 in the morning. The kid can sleep until 11:30. Second, it was the worst football game I've ever witnessed in person in my life. There was just nothing to it. And I thought to myself, do I want to wake him up? Come on, kid, you're here. Wait, no, I let him sleep because I might have wanted to do the same thing at that point. It's the last time Mississippi State's won an SEC game.
The Dan Enos game. Yeah, I think the last time Coach Gundy won a game was against Arkansas, and then he's not in.
That was the last gasp for Enos, wasn't it?
Was his last one, yeah.
200 yards of offense.
Then we had a bye week, and the receiver coach, I don't even know where he is now. But
Kenny G.
We played Kenny G songs that whole day because we won a game. It was amazing.
You pissed off some listeners doing it too.
Hey, we will play Kenny G Monday if in a tribute if we can beat Mississippi State. I mean,
I still stuck on who was it you were going to play Judy Garland if they won?
Oh, that was Tennessee, wasn't it?
Oh, come on. Can we do Judy Garland? Like, I would believe a win over Mississippi State at home. I'd love to hear Judy Garland for an entire
Tennessee
day.
was Hawaii shirt. A&M was
it
Judy Garland, I think. Yeah.
Let's make it Liza Minnelli if they beat Texas.
We can do all Weird Al. Another one rides the bus. We can do.
If they go 0-8, play Weird Al.
Okay.
0-8. As I'm a huge Weird Al fan, but 0-8 deserves Weird Al. Yeah, he's got that sports song you can throw out there potentially. Razorback Raffle has taken a dive of late, and noticed it last week at the Auburn game when before the gates opened at Razorback Stadium, the jackpot was only about $6,000, and eventually it got up to $52,150. You remember what that started at? In a baseball series.
Well, I know last year when I was at the game and it was over like $200,000. It was crazy.
You were at the Notre Dame game, right?
Yeah, but I meant the baseball game when I saw the winner, how much that had gotten to. Yes, sir.
Started at $282,645. Haven't been over $200,000 since. The last 3 jackpots have been sub $65,000. So I mean, it really has. The interest in it has taken a dive, and I think that dovetails with the success of the football team. But I was also wondering how much they make through this. The jackpots, and there have been 8 jackpots. You just go to RazorbackRaffle.com. They got it listed there. And let's see what the jackpot's listed at right now. $2,490 for a game that's being played on Saturday. When this thing started, and it was the Tennessee regular season baseball series, for a baseball series, I remember it was over $100,000 before the series even started. Now you can't get over $3,000 for a football game that's coming up in 2 days. But the jackpots have totaled just a little over $1 million, which means the school, the athletic department, as of now, and they do it 50-50, has netted $517,595. What do you think that buys you for a team?
Well, you can get Braylon Russell and give him 3 carries a game.
I would think. You think Braylon's making more than $500,000?
I think he's making $500,000 easy. Yeah.
So then $500,000 then is getting you 47 carries and 260 yards, and the feeling that there's a little bit more there.
I would, Phil, if you would have told me before the season started that we'd be going into the Mississippi State game and Braylon Russell hadn't even touched the ball 50 times this season, I wouldn't. But a healthy Braylon Russell as well. That is that's just bananas.
47 carries, 4 receptions.
All right,
50, so 51. 50. I forgot about the actual receptions. And they line him up at wide receiver quite often, too. How many times you see him, he'll be the only guy in the backfield, goes in motion all the way to the right.
He can catch the ball. I mean, it's not just like it's a one-player thing, but I just, we have all these weapons on offense, and it hurt. Last week hurt because the defense did good enough. Say what you want, but the defense kept us in it. And how do you – so it was a contrast in styles. We talked a little bit, and we hadn't really talked a lot about this game. But what does Mississippi State do besides get turnovers? Because that's what you're saying they kind of do. They find a way to get turnovers. Where's the matchup this week? Is it O-line, D-line? Because Auburn's D-line was one of the best we played all year, no question about it. But what does Mississippi State do anything on offense?
They're an RPO team.
Because Livy is a defensive coach, right?
No, he's an offensive guy.
He's an offensive coach.
Yeah, in fact, if I remember, isn't he – I want to say he may have married into the Briles family. I don't remember if my details are 100% on this. But he either married into the Briles family or has something to do with Kiffin's family. It's one or the other. But he does have an offensive background, was the OC at Oklahoma when he took the job at Mississippi State. So he's an offensive guy. And I mean, they can move. Part of what you wonder about is the availability of this running back, Fluff Bothwell, who they got Bothwell from South Alabama, and he's missed the last 2 games. Got a good running back in Davon Booth, who's in his second year at Mississippi State, was at Utah State prior, 6 touchdowns, 4.5 yards a carry. But Bothwell, I think, is more of a game breaker. And they've been moving the ball of late. I mean, Blake Shapen had himself a really good game against Texas. And that's a good Texas defense. Like, they're not the best offensive team, but
Texas had a good defense.
That's a good defense. And they threw for 382 yards, gained 445. And that would tell me they can probably move the ball against Arkansas.
Be a 38-35 type of game. You think it's going to be one of those where both teams are probably going to move the ball pretty well. It's can we not turn the ball over? That I guess that's the key, and the answer is I don't know. The answer is I don't know if we can play a game. We played a clean game against A&M. So it's like then all of a sudden it all comes back against Auburn, and you have 4 turnovers there late. Can you get back and have a clean? Because I think
if you can hold on to the ball, you can win this game.
That's what I'm going at. If Arkansas has 0 turnovers on offense, I think they beat Mississippi State.
Bulldogs have had an interception in all 8 games played. 8 different defenders have at least 1 interception. And they've got a cornerback in Brylan Lanier, a safety, who is tied for the SEC lead in interceptions. So I would think that also goes a little bit along with pressure. But you're coming off of a game in which Taylen threw 3 interceptions in 1 quarter. So I would think that state defense is licking their chops, hoping that they can get some of the same production that Auburn got from their defense last week. And thanks to Bruce in Nashville, Jeff Lebby is married to Kendall Bryle's sister. So he is Art Bryle's son-in-law.
A lot of the pressures, you're right, Phil. Whenever somebody has success and they see it on film, they're going to do some of the same concepts and some of the same pressures. And it looked like 14 had a bead on the play too. On 2 of those picks, he jumped the route before the receiver was like coming out of his break.
877-377-6963 to join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Remember to check out Roback.com and make sure you click on their game day collections. They've got a special Arkansas game day collection that you won't find anywhere else. Looking right now at collegiate hoodies, Q-zips, crew necks, half zips, and you got to check out the Arkansas Woo Pig shirt. You got Razorback logos littered all around the thing. It's absolutely gorgeous. You won't find it anywhere except at Roback.com. And if you use the code RUSH25 at checkout, you get 20% off your first order. RHOBACK.com, Roback, where action meets comfort. We'll be back in a moment to wrap up hour number 2. This is Halftime.
Going out to New Mexico, straight desert. First time seeing a tumbleweed, I was like, man, I'm in a cartoon.
This is Halftime.
Bow season is underway, and the Arkansas Alternative Firearms season opens October 16th. Jelco Outdoors has all your muzzleloading and straight wall cartridge supplies. Check out the CBA Scout, Bronchi, Ruger, Savage, Tikka, and Winchester straight wall rifles in calibers 350 Legend, 45-70 Gov, 360 Buckhammer, and 400 Legend. Jelco has the largest selection of hunting clothing, footwear, and hunting supplies in the River Valley. Get ready to go deer hunting at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Fill her up, please.
Flu vaccines, both regular and high dose for seniors, are now available at Law's Drug Store in Fort Smith. Call 452-6116 to schedule your shot appointment. Usually there is no cost when covered by your insurance. Law's Drug has COVID vaccines, RSV vaccines for ages 60 plus. Pneumonia and tetanus shots are also available. Law's Drug Store, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drug Store, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
When your name's on a paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Hills Primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full lineup is only at the one place pros rely on. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery. Or order online and pick it up in-store. Hills Primers, exclusively at the Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan.
Townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howe in Van Buren.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Every long relationship needs a little heat, a spark, to keep things exciting. Something bold, unexpected, saucy. Hold on, not that. We're talking about your relationship with Crispy Chicken, and Taco Bell just spiced it up. 2 crispy chicken strips wrapped in a tortilla dripping with Frank's Red Hot Diablo sauce. Hotter, crunchier. Can you stop it, please? Crispy Chicken from Taco Bell, a brand new classic. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact store for participation which varies. Frank's Red Hot is a registered trademark of the French's Food Company, LLC, and used under license by Taco Bell.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Who wants to go as Bowie for Halloween, or just dress up as Ziggy Stardust? Unit, have we ever had you listen to David Bowie before? Has that been passed on homework?
No, I don't believe so, but I know he's got some good songs out there.
Do you know who David Bowie is?
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Matt? He
I know.
He thinks I'm an idiot.
I know he's a singer. Yeah.
One of his other names, would it be Star Child, Thin White Duke? What else did he go by?
It was right there on the text line a moment ago before B.E. ruined it with his last text. He's known as Ziggy Stardust, too. Well, actually, that was a real creation of his.
Station to Station, one of my favorite albums he does. Pin-Ups, like that album as well.
Do you
Space
think
Oddity, Major Tom?
Do you ask him at the SC Unit if David Bowie belongs on the mid list?
No, you said something yesterday about mid list, that how he was gonna. If he thinks Bowie's mid, then I don't know that we can work together.
He put Prince on the mid list, Matt.
Well, he was confused. He was. Hey, some people think Michael Jackson is better than Prince. You know, I don't.
So Chris in Springdale who's one of our more up to date listeners on music. Says each of us could dress as one of Bowie's alter egos for Halloween tomorrow. Now, I don't know all of his alter egos. I know him as Ziggy Stardust. Outside of that, are we going with his character in Labyrinth? Is that one of his alter egos?
His Flight of the Conchords, they said when he's Ziggy Stardust, he doesn't smoke grass, he smokes AstroTurf.
You go ahead and try that. It's a whole different kind of high if you're trying that one. Oh, my gosh. 877-377
Les Miles, yeah.
6963, the Lewis Automotive Hotline. I'm going as the Joker. I've got a real Joker costume. My son, Gabe, so he's a big fan of The Simpsons. He wants to go as Homer Simpson. He sent me an Amazon link last week for a prop that he wanted for
Duff
Homer
beer.
Simpson.
Oh.
It's a legitimate Geiger counter. It's right here in my hand. It says I'm going to be able to test whether or not I'm dealing with radiation sickness anytime soon. Homer worked at the nuclear plant, so he obviously walked around with a Geiger counter everywhere he went. This is the worst $53 I've ever spent in my life. We'll see if we actually utilize it. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Come back in hour number 3 right after this.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. You're invited to an open house hosted by Sharp Equipment, and it's 100% free. On Friday, October 24th from 11 to 1 p.m., they're throwing an open house party to showcase their new facility and services for their amazing customers and community. So come hungry, bring your friends, and get ready for good eats, giveaways, and an opportunity to donate to support the community holiday dinners. Chambers Bank will be grilling out, and they will be there live. They'd love for you to join them at Sharp Equipment, 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, on Friday, October 24th, from 11 to 1.
At Hardee's, every Tuesday is now Tender Bender Tuesday. Right now, download the Hardee's app and join My Rewards. Buy 3 hand-breaded chicken tenders, get 3 free. It's Tender Bender BOGO. Every Tuesday now through June. This Tuesday, get 3 tenders, free. Next Tuesday, get them free. The Tuesday after that, you guessed it, free. Buy 3 tenders, get 3 free. Another great benefit for My Rewards members. Only at Hardee's. Registration and app required. Available for limited time at participating restaurants. See app for terms.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. A high this afternoon approaching 60 degrees, mainly clear sky. Upper 30s overnight. Friday, lots of blue sky, lots of sunshine. Our high will be in the low 60s. Saturday, mixture clouds and sunshine, upper 50s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Forest Green Incorporated, committed to setting the standard of excellence since 1936. KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no moss at halftime.
That ain't but one Razorback. It's vintage Matt Jones.
The Cinderella story is over, man.
Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Welcome back, 101 afternoon. Halftime continues on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston. We'll have Brett Dolan on in about 15 minutes. Lewis Automotive Hotline's open, 877-377-6963. Oh, I forgot we got an NFL game tonight, Matt. We got no World Series, but there is NFL football this evening for those who are interested. And it's the Ravens and the Dolphins. Lamar's back. Lamar is back, which will turn that, I expect to turn that Ravens season around. Don't put it out of the realm of possibility for Baltimore to still win that division. I'm not bought into Pittsburgh. Cleveland stinks. Cincinnati's not going to do it either.
Your boy Flacco sprained AC joint, didn't practice yesterday, so they might have to go back to the old Washington Husky Jake Browning.
He'll give him that little wink. I told you it's tough to keep somebody 40 upright for that long. And maybe Flacco's going to have to eat his solo meals with his left hand. Ravens, Dolphins. Yeah, Ravens, Dolphins tonight. Be okay. This World Series took a real turn with a couple of days ago. And, man, I just think the Blue Jays look like the better team. They look like they're hungrier. They look grittier. Now, it's guys that are a little not as far along in their career for the most part than that Los Angeles team. You know, Guerrero, Bichette, Varsho, Kirk. These guys that maybe been around for what, 4, 5, 6 years at the most. You know, Betts has been around a long time. Freeman's been around a long time. It's an older Dodgers team, and it's difficult in today's age to think about a team being able to repeat. I mean, you haven't had a team repeat since the Yankees, and I think it was, 99 to 2000, so you're going on 25 years of no repeat World Series winners, and I don't think you really can look at the Blue Jays and say, well, they're going to be able to do it too, because it's just much too random of a sport when you get to the postseason. It just feels like you might not see it for a long time, but then again, I mean, the Dodgers could still pull it off, Matt. They got as much of a shot as anybody to come back going on the road down 3 games to 2 with really right now their best starting pitcher on the mound in Yamamoto. It's a guy that's a complete game in waiting, and that's the difference. More than anything, the difference between the Toronto pitching staff and the Dodgers as a team is just the strength of their bullpens. And right now the strength of the lineups, but these things end up going together. You get one team that's got a great bullpen, well, they're shutting down the opponent. And the numbers for some of you like to talk about, who's going into the Hall of Fame and that sort of stuff, Matt. So looking at some of the Hall of Famers on this Dodger team and what their numbers are for this World Series alone, Betts is 3 for 23. 3 for 23. Ohtani's 6 for 19, but he's been walking a ton. Freeman, 5 for 20, and really the most he's done is that home run to win the game in the 18th inning. Will Smith, one of their all-stars, 5 for 21. So I just think it's a much better team. It looks like they might, honestly, it's tough to say they want it more. It's just they're younger, haven't won the championship yet. This Dodgers team is full of guys that have won it before.
The Dodgers on Monday, they played an 18-inning game. They had 16 hits in that one game. The last 2 games combined, they have 10 hits. That's going to have to get a little better. Now, I tend to agree with you with Yamamoto on the bump that I think we're going to see a Game 7. I think it's going to be one of those when he's got the hot hand, he's got confidence. How much though, Phil, does it help that they got to see him for a complete game just the other night? So is it advantage the hitters, or is it advantage just because nobody's been able to hit Yamamoto all postseason?
It's always advantage hitters when you get a chance to see somebody a second time. The problem is that he hides things so well. You and I were talking about this off the air, how he pitches at those 3 different levels, and it's 3 pitches that you can toss at 3 different levels, and he hides it perfectly. You just can't – you don't know that it's coming. If you guess wrong, you are totally out of luck.
Well, and 2, you're seeing one of the things we talked about when Bobby Petrino called the same run play 3 times in a row in the Memphis game, and then the guy comes in and makes a same concept. If you're going to pitch on the same level 3 times in a row, those guys are too good. And I think it was Smoltzy that said, what he tries to do as far as Yamamoto, he doesn't throw if he throws a pitch in one of these quadrants, if you want to break it into fours or threes, however you want to do it, his next pitch, all you can do is eliminate that he won't throw it back in that same quadrant.
Right.
So you're never seeing the ball the same way, and I think that makes it tough on a hitter.
Bubba talks a lot about, if you see somebody that's not throwing a pitch for a strike, well, in your mind, you eliminate it. And if you can take the options in your mind of what's about to be thrown and eliminate down to one thing that you feel really confident in, and then you get it, you're ready. You're ready to go. And I was going to ask, so when it comes to pitching, the way that you're able to hide what it is you're throwing, and batters are trained to look for the shape of the ball coming out of somebody's hand, you got to throw in the same arm slot. The release is going to be different depending on if it's a curve or a breaking ball or a fastball, just because of the way that it comes out of the hand. So that's always going to be different. You can still hide it a little bit with the glove, but there's this tunneling aspect that every pitch coming out of the hand the same way, and then it does its action. So you can hide things when you throw a pitch in the same essential tunnel as you do over and over and over again. Now let's take that to football. You run the same play 3 times in a row. It looks the same coming when you line up in your formation.
You get your timing so much better. That's what I mean. I guess that would be the same concept in baseball, but as far as a defensive player, you see how they come off the ball. You see the same formation. They run the same play again, same steps. You're able to time it up and hit the hole.
But what can you do at that point to make it look like you're about to run the same play and maybe even have a little bit of the same action that you see? Like when the pitch comes out of the pitcher's hands, it looks maybe like a fastball, and then the next thing you know, like with your Savage, it just falls off the table. The pitch you thought you saw is not the pitch that you saw. Can you do the same thing if it looks like you're about to run the same play 3 times in a row and find it a specific way? And I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm kind of asking, is there enough of a play action here with a team that's known to run the ball?
I think we're going to see that with Mississippi State with those RPOs. So when it's a run pass option, that a lot of times those offensive linemen, they might fire off for a yard, or they're catching. So you can be in the same type of formation. You can do the same motion, but that should be a key as far as if you're a linebacker or safety looking to see, is it a run or a pass? How do those linemen fire off? So there's always a little thing you can kind of look at.
And like with like a guy like Savage yesterday, it's like you literally have almost nothing on tape, because all he's done is make, I think it's 8 starts in the major leagues, but they still know what it is that they're looking for. You got to lay off the splitter. Don't ever swing at the splitter. Well, the splitter looks like a fastball coming out of his hand. You just don't realize that that's what it's about to do. That guy's amazing to watch. 20th overall pick in the same year that Hagen Smith was drafted, 5th overall? So we had people asking earlier in the season, is Hagen going to get up to the major leagues this year? Well, the White Sox stink. They don't need him this year. Why start the major league clock? Boy, Matt, you pointed out with football all the time, what a great thing to be picked in the first round, but in the back half of the first round, where you got a team that's good, where they're not depending upon you to be the guy. And it's not like everybody gets drafted in baseball and the next year they're expected to be the guy. But Trey Savage is the guy for these Blue Jays. Without him, they're not in the World Series.
Well, I think of guys like a Bryce Young, who is at Alabama, who's dominating, doing his thing, and then you go to Carolina. You're not, as far as who you have out there, as far as your offensive linemen, as far as your matchups go, you had the better team at Alabama every single game. Maybe 2 different games. You played Georgia or an LSU or an Ohio State, and it was kind of even. Carolina, when he's the quarterback there, they're not the best team when they're going out. So it's a totally different environment.
Right. And I can't think of it. Well, I'm looking back at the draft here. Well, other quarterbacks taken in the draft that year. Stroud was picked 2nd. Anthony Richardson 4th. I guess, I don't know, is the jury out on Stroud?
The Colts are going to win the AFC South.
Right. They're going to win the AFC South 2 years after completely whiffing on the 4th overall pick.
When they got Daniel Jones, who's a first-rounder, I don't know what year that was, but there's been a little bit of a comeback. I think of Baker Mayfield. You think of Daniel Jones. even a little bit of was it Sam Darnold who was at the Vikings? Guys that go somewhere else and then kind of shift around and actually have success. I wouldn't have thought it with Daniel Jones.
You also see
how bad it was.
You're seeing that in college football too, like with this Haynes King at Georgia Tech. I mean, that guy won a job and lost a job at Texas A&M. Same with Connor Weigman at Houston. These are two teams playing at a pretty high level, and it's almost you got to remind yourself, oh, that's right, that guy's still playing college football all these years ago. Feels a little bit the same. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Remember, Crabtree RV Center. Crabtree RV Center features the absolute best purchasing experience for anybody that's in the RV market. The folks at Crabtree RV are trained to help you pick the perfect RV. And there's personalized financing, and they got a top-of-the-line parts and service department on site. It's fall, but it's not too late to let Crabtree RV get you started on your next adventure with an RV from Crabtree. You'll find them at I-40 and I-49 in Alma and online at crabtreerv.com. Brett Dolan joining halftime for a moment. Stay with us.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Eat Lux your way with the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the $5 box, as classic as ever. The $7 box has your favorite indulgences and more. And the $9 box introduces you to your newest obsession, the flaming hot grilled cheese burrito. It's Lux. For less. Try the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget. Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level. And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story. Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Time to get on the horn here with Brett Dolan on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Play-by-play, Touchdown Radio, Razorback Sports, Perfect Game, MLB. Brett, what's up? Happy Thursday.
Always good to talk to you, boys. We're bending towards November. Fun time in the old football calendar and beyond.
Yeah. Do with this information what you would like to do with it, Brett. Seeing a report from Riley McFerrin, who covers Arkansas at Hogbeat. This is the tweet. The Razorback Foundation jet just landed in Provo, Utah, the home of the BYU Cougars and head football coach Kalani Sitake. BYU has a bye this week. Do with that information what you will. Brett, do with that information what you will.
That is interesting. You know, every once in a while in these coaching searches, there's a curveball or a good Trey Savage slider, and I feel like that might be one that gets me swinging and missing on that one. You know, Sitake's got a pretty good thing in the Big 12, if indeed that is the candidate. But every once in a while, don't these planes go to a neutral location to throw us off the trail just a bit?
Yeah, they do. That's why they like to have fun with the plane chasers. But
yes.
I don't know, bye week and if everything seems like it makes sense.
I like the BYU coach, and one of the things and Phil and I were talking about this, you know, when you have country boys, the people that – you have a lot of Samoans, you have a lot of Hawaiians that grow up in the ocean surfing. I mean, they're just from a earlier age, they're just stronger and more athletic when you're talking about the offensive and defensive lines.
And I would imagine they've got several. But I would say, Matt, I feel like he's in a pretty good spot at BYU because you're going to have a Big 12 representative in the playoff. You might have two. I would think the path towards winning that conference, sans Texas and OU and Oklahoma State is down and other teams aren't terribly good. I would feel like there's the possibility where you could win a lot of games in that league with your players and whatnot. But I understand there's a lure of the SEC and there's some big dollars in the SEC, maybe some big buyouts too, because there's a lot of coaches that don't finish what they start. But I don't know. We'll be curious to see what shakes out, not just maybe in the next week, but beyond.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's kind of why the Oklahoma State job, I don't know if you say, well, which job's better? They're probably pretty similar, Arkansas, Oklahoma State. I think it's an easier path to make it to the playoff 12 if you're at Oklahoma State than it is at Arkansas. Same kind of concept with BYU.
I think so. And the tough part, we're seeing it in this league right and left. It's hard to win 8 games, and 8 games isn't acceptable at times, or 9, or whatever it is. And the more money that's thrown into this sport, the more expectations, or the quicker people want turnarounds and changes and buyouts. It's a good time to be a college coach because you're going to make a lot of money, but it's certainly maybe the least stable we've ever had in this sport.
Hey, Brett, there's been a 2-year extension that Matt Rule signed through 2032, increased his buyout from $5 million to $15 million. We call this, coach's carousel at this time of the year and firing season and all of that. You know what it really is? It's extension season for the coaches who
got one first at Indiana.
That's exactly right. Eventually, that's going to happen to one of the coaches who's a target in the SEC. And those who don't sign the contract extension, well, then we target them as the next coach for Florida or LSU, I guess.
I guess. I mean, it's curious because, when Penn State came open, Rule played there, but he's also good friends with the athletic director, and they worked together at Temple, so that was an immediate thought. For Penn State, I don't know if Rule's been successful enough to be in your top tier, and for Rule, he's trying to build something in Nebraska. I don't know if I'm assuming he would jump because it's a better job, Penn State than Nebraska, but you get the extension one way or another. I'll tell you what, if Penn State really wanted it, but I don't think they do, $15 million is not prohibitive.
Hey, I'm kind of looking at this SEC slate, and we'll kind of get on some of these games here in a second. But I want to ask you about the Ole Miss South Carolina game. But for some reason, it always feels like Ole Miss is going to slip up. If it was last year at Kentucky, there's no doubt they're very talented. I think they're a playoff team. Are you a little nervous about South Carolina? They played Alabama tough. They got their quarterback back. How are you feeling about this South Carolina Ole Miss matchup?
I tell you what, Matt, the entire month of November makes me nervous for kind of where you were going with that. I think there are games you look at, you feel like you have the answers to the test this deep in the year, and we do see teams that are playing better. And that Alabama felt like a trap last week for them. I give them credit for fighting through and finding a way to win, especially when they were down late. I think we're going to see a lot more of that in the Big Ten and SEC, where there's games that you just don't think one team's going to win, but just the circumstances or the grind. I think the schedule, though, for Ole Miss I would not surprise me in the least if they were 11-1 at the end of the regular season. Now, could they get tripped up? Absolutely. That fourth quarter Chambliss had against Georgia, where he was 1 for 10 for 1 yard passing, was that alone scares you a little bit because it's possible that you just have a clunker of a game or a half that tilts something. But I think when you start looking at schedules, that has to be one of the most comforting schedules going forward for any team that's in the top 10 right now for Ole Miss. So they just need to find a way to avoid some of these upsets. But no, I would be more than concerned with a handful of these games that are on the schedule in these next 2 or 3 weeks.
Elimination game for the Josh Heupel Bowl, Oklahoma at Tennessee. Both teams 6-2. Winner has a chance to go ahead and play in the playoff 12. Loser is done. What's the key there, Oklahoma, Tennessee? Do you like the home team?
I would probably have to lean home team. And again, Tennessee wasn't that far away from beating Georgia. Maybe they should have defeated Georgia at home early in the year, and they'd be a little bit further along in this path. I don't think they're elite. I don't think Oklahoma's elite, but both of these teams are kind of in that next rung of teams outside the top 3 or top 4 in the SEC. Tennessee still has to be able to run the football a little bit better. It feels like they give up too many points, but it does feel like to me, while Oklahoma is better than they've been in years past, they're still maybe a year or 2 away from really being one of the top 3 or 4 teams, or at least competing to be in that run.
Brett, you and I both spent a lot of time in minor league baseball doing broadcasts. You've been up to the big leagues doing it too. And I've never felt, and it's obvious to watch it, because you get a guy like Trey Savage, who a year ago was, just kind of being drafted. And now he's Toronto's savior for the World Series, for crying out loud. Tony's been hired as the Giants manager. There were a lot of years I felt that there was a chasm between like Double-A and the major leagues, which meant that there was even a wider chasm between college baseball and the major leagues. That has really shrunk, and it's happened quickly. I'm not quite sure why it's happened, but it has happened, and I wonder your thoughts on that.
I think you have to give the college coaches some credit for the development. I agree with everything you've said as far as sometimes the different paths or the distance between being a good college player and a good minor league player and a good major league player. But you do see guys that have accelerated quickly. It makes me wonder if, for example, the White Sox were in contention. Could Hagen Smith come up and do something similar? I don't know. You know, the Yesavage is interesting because, Phil, I went back and I looked at his minor league numbers, and I think he touched all 4 levels. I mean, his strikeout numbers were good, but I think he threw a little bit less than 100 innings and gave up more than 30 runs. So it wasn't as if he was, spinning 5 or 6 scoreless. But you watch him pitch last night, and you don't have to watch much to realize why he's successful with that slider and the splitter and the drop and the movement and the pitch shaping. And, you have to give East Carolina some credit for that, for not only developing but getting him ready. But, I mean, you can't help but wonder, are there other guys, if given a chance like that could do similar things? Because that was electric, even though he wasn't dominant at times this year in the minors. So I don't know if he's just found the perfect wave, but that's a damn good lineup he's cruising through, not just once but twice. And if the Blue Jays win the World Series, it's completely on his back for winning 2 of those games.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you're drafted by and how quickly they get good. Hagen absolutely could be a major league star given the opportunity. I think the same thing when I'm watching Gabe Gackle. I mean, if he's got his command, he's got big league stuff. It's just he's doing it in a smaller ballpark against college players. And if you get that stuff over, if you show command, they're going to get you up to the big leagues a lot quicker than before. Series over, or Yamamoto? Yamamoto's going to. It almost feels like an upset if he doesn't throw 9 innings.
Or pitch well, and I would love to see 7 games. I think that would be fantastic. Every time you assume something this year in the major leagues, you're wrong. I felt like once the Dodgers outlasted Toronto in Game 3, that would kind of tilt things in their favor with all the chips you push into the center of the table to win an 18-inning game. And then all of a sudden the Blue Jays come back without George Springer, one of their key components, and with a rookie pitcher, and they've sent this back to Toronto. So I'd really love to see 7 games. I don't know if I have a true dog in the fight, and Yamamoto's been as good as Yesavage has been, so maybe we will get 7 games out of this. It would be something. I think I saw Phil the other day that if the Blue Jays win the World Series, the Blue Jays and the Marlins would be 5-0 in winning World Series championships. And there's some teams that just would love to win one, but it's a wild sport we follow on a regular basis. That is for sure.
I want to ask you another football question, Brett. We were talking about coaches getting contract extensions. What do you think's going on in Austin right now? And I'm looking at Texas's schedule. They get Vanderbilt coming in, and it's an elimination game. Vanderbilt comes into their town, and if they win, Texas is done for the playoff 12. But if Texas wins, their hope's alive. Any truth, or are you feeling like Sark's going to still be the Texas head ball coach next year? And who do you like in this Vanderbilt-Texas matchup?
Well, I think where there's some smoke, there's some fire. He might have an interest in the NFL, and I don't know if these coaches just get a little bit antsy. I would say that the dollars that are rolling through Austin, I'd have a hard time leaving that. Even if I had some down years, I would feel like I have more resources to compete than others. This is intriguing in the sense that, Vanderbilt last week should not have won that game at home against Missouri. Missouri wrote a book on how to give it away, not scoring, getting your quarterback maimed, not kicking a field goal, then kicking a field goal and missing it, and then throwing a Hail Mary and finishing 2 yards short. They clearly should have won that game. Offensively, Vandy did nothing. And Texas, if one thing, has a really good defense. Vandy likes to run. Texas can stop the run. I don't know if Texas can win this game or, kind of end the Pavia story for the time being. I will say this, if they win, I give them credit because they have not been nearly as good as last year, and yet they're still kind of finding ways to win. It would be fun to set up a Texas A&M matchup after Thanksgiving to see if Texas could cause some problems for the dream season of A&M. I might just lean Texas even without their quarterback situation being unresolved, just because I was not impressed with Vanderbilt's offense last week against Mizzou.
Brett, we'll leave it there. Always appreciate your time on these Thursdays. Whatever it is you're calling soon, have fun doing it, and we'll visit again next week.
You know it, guys. Always enjoy them.
You got it. Brett Dolan is with us every Thursday on Halftime. Hey, we're going to be raising money and awareness for the Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation all throughout the month of November. Excuse to skip shaving. Thank you very much. No Shave November with the Arkansas Prostate Cancer Foundation. Grow your beard, show your pride, help fight prostate cancer in Arkansas. You can go online to arprostatecancer.org for more information. Home stretch of halftime. Join us. 877-377-6963 for the Lewis Automotive Hotline, and we're back after this.
He likes to tell us, put your resume on tape. And I feel like that's a big part of what we're doing every day.
This is halftime.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes. How do you know what actually works? With a 4.9-star rating from over 1.7 million client reviews, you're in good hands with BetterHelp. Talk with real qualified therapists, not AI. Wellness shouldn't be overwhelming, and therapists can help figure out what's best for you. And yeah, it might involve a screen detox. Visit BetterHelp.com/score for 10% off your first month. This is an ad by BetterHelp. Cold plunges, gratitude journals, screen detoxes. How do you know what actually works? With a 4.9-star rating from over 1.7 million client reviews, you're in good hands with BetterHelp. Talk with real qualified therapists, not AI. Wellness shouldn't be overwhelming, and therapists can help figure out what's best for you. And yeah, it might involve a screen detox. Visit BetterHelp.com/score for 10% off your first month.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith in the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, Johnny'sTransmissionFS.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
It's the all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet at Golden Corral. Enjoy the endless breakfast buffet with carved ham, tender pork chops, pancakes, French toast, made-to-order eggs and omelets, and, of course, the biscuits and gravy. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And from 8 to 9:30, seniors get all this and a drink for $10.29. Golden Corral, 1801 South Walter in Fort Smith. Order online at goldencorral.com for curbside pickup or delivery. Golden Corral, the only one for everyone.
Care shouldn't come with extra costs or surprise fees. It should be simple, straightforward, and stress-free. So at Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee, included with every tire purchase with paid installation. You'll pay nothing for flat repairs, nada for flat replacements, zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles, and zero for other preventative maintenance. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's the limited lifetime tire guarantee, only at Midas.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend, Matt Jones.
So the Razorback Foundation plane apparently is in Provo, Utah, in order to, who knows who it is that they're talking to. You throw a deep fake. Do you go to Provo, Utah and not talk to the BYU coach? You talk to the Utah coach in Provo?
I mean, if you 2 weeks ago, a month ago, whenever this all happened, I'm like, we should go talk to the BYU coach. So hopefully somebody out there is listening.
Sataki's been there this is 10th season at BYU. And remember, I mean, he's taken that program from independent to the Big 12. Now, they entered the Big 12, I think it was the last year that Texas and Oklahoma had joined, so it's a different league. They were 2-7 the first year in the Big 12, and since then, they're 12-2 in the Big 12. 5-0 this year, 7-2 last year. Sataki's taken them to a bowl game in all but 2 seasons that he's been there. 3 double-digit seasons. It's got a good resume there, Matt, just based on, having a winning percentage at .650. And for those who, we've had people call it about morals too, that they want a coach who's in their eyes good morality. And look, I don't know anything about Kalani Sitake except that he's the BYU coach. And I would assume that there'd be a certain amount of morality that goes into being the coach at BYU too.
I think the offensive line and defensive line, if you look over the last 10 years, have been better, especially the last 5 years. His offensive and defensive line's better than what Arkansas has, and that's key when it comes. And then you look at Puka, who's one of the best receivers, and you can get athletes all over the country, but man, those offensive and defensive linemen out there, getting those guys, if you can get some guys from the islands and that area, they're just they're a little bit stronger. Even in Jacksonville, Phil, both our guards were from the islands, and they were both, they were just built different.
And he's also won in one spot with multiple quarterbacks. He has shown the ability to adjust from being an independent to in a league and win in both levels, and taken BYU from the ancient ages of college football to what it is today. So 50 years old, has never been a head coach anywhere else. It would be an interesting if that is the direction things go. But that's just coming from reports that the Razorback Foundation has the plane in Provo, Utah today, which is a lovely city in a lovely state.
I think you dig Provo. Get out there this time of year.
Wouldn't be? Yeah, Chris remembers his team pushed the Razorbacks around in 2023. They beat them the year before when all their fans gave the players ice cream.
I remember that one because we had 3 offensive linemen had to go out with cramps because we didn't know how hot it was going to be at a home game. Like, oh.
Now, who knows what it is he's making? BYU is a private university, so it's not like they can just throw those sort of things out there. It looks like it's just seeing here the reports are that he makes $3 million.
Does he
$3 million? That's it? That means he's about to get a raise one way or the other, Matt, because if Arkansas is looking at him, other schools are too. He won't be making $3 million much longer.
Well, BYU, if I'm correct, if you're looking at their schedule, they beat Utah this year, and that was their toughest game. I don't know. Is there a loss on that schedule? Do you have to go undefeated at BYU to make it?
No, you've got to win the Big 12.
You just got to win the Big 12. BYU gets Texas Tech next week. That'll be the big one. But then it's Texas Tech, TCU, Cincinnati, UCF. That's how they finish this season. Yeah, I think only one team from the Big 12 would make the playoff 12.
The 501 text says he's going to be so depressed when he sees Arkansas's NIL money versus the Mormon Church.
They do have unlimited funds. That's very true. So he's not coming. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. Now that you put it that way, he's not coming.
I'm just shocked that he's making $3 million. Even at this point, that's like to be a 10-year head coach at that institution and only making $3 million. You'd expect that
but
you'd be
does he have
making a bump into the 6 range at least.
Does he have a mortgage payment? Does he have a car payment? You think about all those other things that go into it. But yeah, that's less than what Sam Pittman was making.
It's half of what Sam was making. Ask him to take the same salary, or just pay him what Sam was making. If he's ready, if he's good about discounts, go ahead. We'll give another $2 million to whatever you want for your coordinators each way, and then
8-year contract.
Wow. Well, I mean, Satake I think would be a pretty good hire, but it also feels like if they give him, anything sort of market value for coaching salary,
they'd have to double.
You really leave in a place?
You'd have to double it, right? You'd have to give him 6 at least, I think.
I think you have to give him much more than that. Now, I don't know who his agent is. Like, so much of that has to do with, what is an agent going to let you get away with? No, we're going for market value because that's what we do. We go for market value. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive hotline. Yeah, the BYU coach is going to be getting a raise. If you get these reports out now, I'm sure that the folks at BYU Athletics have very good contacts at the Provo Airport. They're well aware that this plane is there. So Matt Rule got a raise. Who else has gotten raises? Signetti got a raise. Is that it? I can't think of any others that have been signed to
Drinkowitz
extensions.
Not get a raise
not
from
yet.
Missouri? That's the next one.
There was another text asking, why no
What about
interest
the
in
Vanderbilt
Lee
coach?
at Vandy? This is a text that's asking the same question you're asking. Why no interest in Lee at Vandy, and does Eli have any interest coming here? I don't think Eli has any interest in Arkansas. I think his interest in Arkansas is trolling the Razorbacks.
He just wants some players, everyone. Yeah, he just wants 2 or 3 players out of the state each year.
And I don't think it's a matter of is there no interest in Clark Lee. I think with what he's done at Vanderbilt, I think almost anybody would have interest in him. But are you leaving? That's another place that. Are you really going to leave Vanderbilt? And we don't know what sort of money they're paying him, but that's also a university that's flush with cash. I just would have trouble thinking that there'd be a sitting SEC coach that leaves something they've built, which is doing really well right now. Vanderbilt and Missouri. Vandy's going to be a playoff team. Missouri still could be. And that they would look to go to a rebuild at Arkansas. So I don't think that's realistic.
So you look at Vandy's schedule. They play Texas and Austin, then they get Auburn at home, Kentucky at home, then they get Tennessee. So their last 3 games will be in Tennessee. This one's the scary one because of what Brett said, because of what I think as well. Texas does have a defense, and it might be the first one to 17. Can Vanderbilt put up 17, 21 points on Texas? I don't know, because I do think Texas is up there when it comes to on that defensive side of the ball.
Vanderbilt goes to the playoff this year with Alabama, LSU, Texas, and Tennessee on their schedule. It'd be one of the most shocking things to ever happen in the history of college football. We got Lance in Fayetteville on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Good afternoon, Lance. What's up?
Hey, just add another name to throw out there. David Shaw, former Stanford coach. He did a heck of a job 7 or 8 years at Stanford, and then it kind of ran off the roller coaster the last 3 years, but he is a legacy. His dad was a longtime coach, I believe, assistant in the NFL, and then he's recently got back into stuff with the Detroit Lions. But I think anybody who follows college football would remember David Shaw and really respected. And I mean, he did some great things for 7 or 8 years.
He was there at Stanford after Harbaugh left, right?
Something like that. Yes.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Had some really great seasons. And I wonder, the reason Stanford fell off the cliff while he was there, I don't think they grasp the importance of NIL.
They were on that
in those
Dabo
2
train.
years. Yeah. That'd be an interesting idea. Won 64% of his games at Stanford. Last game he coached was in 2022. It's an interesting choice there, Lance. Maybe they're kicking the tires on that. 877-377-6963 to join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Yeah, let's see here. Shaw had 5 years of 10 wins or more in his first 6 at Stanford. And 3-9 record the last 2 seasons there. And, man, they're on 2 coaches since then. Because Troy Taylor's the one who replaced Shaw. He was canned in the spring. And things are a little bit different now with Andrew Luck running things. Here's Brian in Ozark on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. Afternoon, Brian. What's up?
What's going on? I got a coach for you.
Sure.
What do you think about getting Charlie Strong? He's an Arkansas native.
Yeah, we had a caller earlier bring up Charlie's name. Charlie hasn't been a head coach since 2019. He's 65 years old. Is that really?
Yeah.
I don't see it as realistic.
Yeah, well, that was kind of a joke. I mean, he was a horrible coach at Texas, but I
don't think it was a joke from the first caller, though. I think it was Ben who brought it up.
Oh, okay. Looking at all the message boards, it seems like most of Arkansas doesn't want Petrino as the head coach. Oh, man, is that what you all see too?
I mean, I think that support may have fallen off somewhat after the loss to Auburn, but it seems to go by team performance week by week.
Yeah. I was just wondering, I mean, looking at his record, against top 25 teams, he's 15-32, which is not much better than Pittman. I don't know what Pittman's record was, but that's a pretty bad record. But I just wondered about that. And Texas will beat Vanderbilt Saturday, so go Longhorns.
I wouldn't expect that you would tell us anything differently than that, truthfully. Well, I mean, I just do a quick search here. If we're going by top 25 teams and what you do against them, I don't know. That just seems to be one data point, and a data point that's really difficult to find somebody with great records. Just doing a quick search, Lane Kiffin is 11-24 against top 25 teams. So that's pretty much in the same category. So I mean, it's cherry picking one statistic, but it's not the only one that matters. All right, we'll be back in a moment. Before we leave you, I want to remind you about our friends at Pradco. And this time of the year at Pradco, you're going to be thinking about the Booyah Mobster. The Booyah Mobster, designed by the Muddy Water Mob across Arkansas and Oklahoma, wins all the tournaments, fishing submerged or matted grass. And you got to have the Booyah Mobster with you. Find it at LearNet and tackle stores all across our listening audience. It's the Booyah Mobster. All right, back in a moment. Wrap up the show. This is halftime.
No, we worrying about 2025. We ain't worrying about the years in the past, the years to come. We worrying about 2025. Yeah, just worry about Saturday.
This is halftime.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Eat Lux your way with the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes from Taco Bell. There's the $5 box, as classic as ever. The $7 box has your favorite indulgences and more. And the $9 box introduces you to your newest obsession, the Flamin' Hot Grilled Cheese Burrito. It's Lux. For less. Try the $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes, only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
Does your Razorback closet need an upgrade? The University of Arkansas Game Day Collection is what you're looking for, only at Roback.com. They've custom designed the best hoodies, polos, and Q-zips for your school. Go check out this and more at Roback.com, and don't forget to use our link for 20% off. Use code RUSH25 at checkout on Roback.com for 20% off your first order. That's RHOBACK.com. 20% off all hoodies, joggers, and more with Rush 25. Roback, where action meets comfort.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to MyBookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. Ew, yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call, cleans it all.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Some of the coaches who have really good records against top 25 teams. Kalen DeBoer 15-3 against top 25. Ryan Day 24-9. Kirby Smart 37-15. Urban Meyer's record was 25-12. You know what these guys are not doing right now? Well, I don't know about Meyer. None of these guys are looking for jobs.
You know, one of the things I would want to look at, what are you at home? And there's a reason, you know, when you're playing a top 5 team, there's a reason they're top 5. They you know, they're that's tough. It's hard to have a winning record against top 5, top 10 teams. But what's your record at home? You know, what's your record when you're favored? That's another thing I would look at. How many times do you lose games you shouldn't have lost? You know, not necessarily everybody gets caught up, and I think you're right, Phil. It's like we all get caught. Well, what's your that's not really a great stat or something to get caught. What's your record when you're favored? You know, what's your record at home?
You know, like the thing with Franklin. So it makes a little bit of sense to me, I guess, compared to the program you're coaching at. You know, if you're the coach at Penn State, you're there expecting to win national championships. So your record against Ohio State, your record against Michigan will matter more than it does against Northwestern, Rutgers, Maryland, whatever. It's got to be the same in the SEC too. It's just, you know, it's the idea of when you come coach a team in the SEC, and I feel the same way about baseball. You catch lightning in a bottle, who knows what you can do? Just look at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is playing right now to play for a national championship. Nobody would have thought that's the world you live in 3 years ago. It's the same with Indiana. But there's so many things you look at when it comes to why you're going to hire somebody and why you're not going to hire somebody. How they do against the best teams in the country, I think is a real difficult way to go at it, because you'd have to look it up and everything. My assumption is that there's a lot more coaches with bad records against top 25 schools, and the ones who have good records are not looking for work.
Fun show today.
Good stuff. Really good stuff. And tomorrow we get to wrap up the week with Aaron Torres and Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen and anything else you want to get into. Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast is ready to go in just a couple of moments, thanks to the one and only C Unit. You're going to figure out his homework for tomorrow, too. Ruskin and Zach are ready to go, and we'll see you tomorrow. For Matt and Christian, I'm Phil. Have a great rest of your Thursday.